Hello and welcome to Tales from the Dark Side Crew, your Star Wars news and weekly comic recap presented by Renovision. The show that on Wednesday broke its no cussing New Year's resolution. But hey, the swear jar is full again, and that'll help pay to fix the hole in the wall. Tonight, we'll give you the latest Star Wars news. Then we're covering 4 Star Wars comics. Come on, 4? Really? All right. Star Wars 20, Bounty Hunters 20, High Republic Adventures 12, High Republic Eye of the Storm 1. And if we're not too tired, we'll give you our opinions on Book of Boba Fett Episode 3. We're sure to be exhausted after that. But we'll push on with a follow-up of last week's news segment, Let the Market Decide. The results of round 3 of our Fantasy Fett game are in, and there's a new trivia game where answering the question could be the easiest part. Let's get it going, fellas.
All right, we have an action-packed show. We've got a lot of stuff going on. There's, I think, a giveaway, a trivia, which means there's 2
giveaways. That's right. We got the giveaway too.
Holy
figure out what we're doing with that.
We're probably going to forget what we're doing during some of the show because I know a lot of people are waiting and have been waiting for the Fett thing. So we'll get into that too, but that will be midway through the show. Jedi, could you please tell everybody who showed up this week?
Will do. He recently challenged Black Kersantan to a arm wrestling match. The loser had to walk home from Jabba's palace. Well, I guess we know how that ended. It's Macho Man Marco. He has the toughest job on YouTube. No, it's not producing high-quality videos, which he does. The toughest job on YouTube is keeping the Dark Side crew from dropping spoilers all over Wednesday's Snack Show, especially this past week. It's the visionary Pete Renovision. And I'm just going to say what we all know this next guy is thinking. Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, Episode 3, needed more flashbacks. It's the guy behind the curtain getting what he wished for. JJ Maxwell.
Yeah. Wrong
guy.
Have you ever seen that parent trying really hard to stay cool at their parents' basketball game while other parents are screaming at the coach to get that kid out of there because he sucks? That's been that kind of week for Domtober, but he's here and the hunt is still on. This guy makes it a point to visit the living sea of the Garzian system as often as he can. I think he's been there 20, 21 times, maybe. They really get him there. They have so much in common. Yep, that's me, Jedi Johnson, 22. Now, no one is completely sure why he is here tonight, only that after his loss in the droid battles of 2021, he secretly, obsessively has been working on some experiment. And now, like Frankenstein screaming to the heavens, it's finally ready. It's alive. I'm just guessing, though, that his creation has 23 components and drags its balls wherever it goes. BB-23 2.0, maybe? We'll find out. It's our own dark side mad scientist who needs to teach his droid some manners. Steve Horn is here. And he's back again this week because his Book of Boba Fett storyline precognitions from last Sunday took a major hit in Episode 3. Yeah, his visions were wrong because there's no place in Star Wars for visions.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Sam triple dodgeball.
I see what you did there.
Boo!
Nice. Thanks, Jedi.
No dad jokes needed. All right. Good stuff, Jedi. Everybody loves the intros. We got it. Let's say hi to some people. We're not going to do, I don't know what we're going to do. Ruben, good to see you. We might have a Ruben video if we've got time later. Dusty, good to see you. Obi, Renovision's in the chat. That's good to see you. By the way, Ruben first one in by a long shot, just so you know. Dan, I don't know if you guys saw Dan the Man's post. Make sure you're following him on IG, but apparently a certain grading company is just switching tiers nowadays. If your books are done in 2006, they're moving you from modern to standard. Okay, good luck with that. That kind of sucks.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, really good. Ed, saying hi for the algorithm. Good to see you, Ed. Repair Tech Tony, awesome. Wayseeker, we figured you'd be in here. Dwayne Scott early. Do I have anything to yell at Dwayne Scott for today? No, I don't. Oh, good to see you then. All right. Who else? Chris. Oh, Chef Harris. Chef, where were you on Wednesday when I was giving my discussion on Oreos and how to properly eat them? We needed you there. Damn, good to see you. We'll say hi to everybody else that's in the chat later. Let's start fast and furious. We got some comic book. I know that Jedi doesn't like to read all the comic books, but we have them all here anyway. So let's go through it really quickly. The High Republic number 12. I'll be honest with you. This kind of is a little disappointing. And I think it's because they're trying to too late.
What about the news? We forgot the news.
News. Yep. Sorry. News it is. Here you go, JJ. Get into the news. I'm trying to speed it through. Jeffrey, what's going on?
I know. I forgot.
All right. So first up on news,
super
fast. This is just to remind everybody that Andor is a TV show that will come out next year. Nobody seems to talk about it,
and it's already done shooting and
it's actually
done.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No, 100%. Yes.
Yep. I found it interesting that the last rumor we had on this was that Callus would be in it. That was the last rumor I heard about Andor, and that was a year ago.
Is that what we're gonna get Afra?
Afra's going. yeah, that's what we're getting.
Mephisto. One of them's going to show.
One of them showing up in that.
They'll probably
show
up in the show nobody's talking about.
10 characters confirmed. Are you? This is just a jokey headline.
That's just a headline. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Maybe we'll rank those on the BS meter next week. Okay.
Yep.
This one. Go ahead.
Yep. So Celebration still on. Cross your fingers.
Interesting.
Not only, but they're doing fan applications now. So for people that are. The people that they get, you will get free tables. Free tables. They want cosplay type people and stuff like that, and they're getting volunteers to actually do the stuff. So asking for volunteers looks like this might finally go off, which thank God, because I don't want let's get it out of California and get it back to the Midwest, please. Yep, or the East Coast, fine too.
Yeah, cosplay as a ball droid, but I just got to figure out how to stop rolling.
Yeah. You know what? You can go, but if you're in Anaheim or you're close or you plan on being there and you didn't get tickets, this would kind of be a cool way to go there, because you can either volunteer or, I don't know, say you're part of the Dark Side crew and maybe we'll get you a camera and a mic and you can go down there and broadcast live at a table. We'll see.
Get you a press pass.
Yep. Get you a little press pass.
Get you some of those shoes that the cool kids wear that have the wheels in them.
Yeah. Just get around. But either way, if that's something you're into, if you're into getting together with a group and dressing up, go ahead. Or if you're whatever, just so you know, you can fill those out. You might be able to get them for free. Go ahead, Jedi or JJ.
So up on the rumor mill this week too was that we'll see a first look for Fallen Order 2. I don't know, probably not, but that was the rumor. Cool. Across the thing for video games this week. So,
do you think in Fallen Order 2 we're going to find out what happened to some of her to some of the Inquisitors?
Oh, I think they have to. Yeah.
Is that the 9th or the 8th sister or
second? Big one. Second one. Well, no. Oh, the one in here.
No, the big one in the picture.
Yeah, that's the 5th.
5th. Right? Yeah.
She's the one that.
The 9th.
9th. It's a late number. And she's the one that's got all the parts cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the one that looks like a dude, but she's not. What is this nonsense?
So apparently Leonardo DiCaprio is a huge Star Wars nerd, which I did not know until right now. But he apparently tried to get Jonah Hill interested in Mandalorian because they were in lockdown together shooting some TV show or movie, I guess. But Jonah Hill wasn't having it. According to Jonah Hill, if it's not a real thing, then he doesn't really care. So I guess he watches a lot of documentaries. I don't know.
Leonardo was supposed to be.
This is the guy that's in Pineapple Express is saying that if it's not real, he doesn't care.
No, he wasn't in Pineapple.
That's not Pineapple Express.
What was he in?
No, Jonah Hill was in the 21 Jump Street.
Oh, that's another great one. 21 Jump Street. He was also in that movie about China, right? When they went over there, or North Korea. That was another hit.
Yeah, he was.
The movie with him in about the guns.
Again, you have him confused with Seth Rogen, I think.
Yes, exactly.
Whatever. Same character.
Hey,
all right.
Yeah, I heard that Jonah Hill got turned off because Leonardo tried to show him how big his lightsaber was.
Now that might be true.
You don't need to be pulling that out on the first date.
Fair enough.
This is probably
Joe, what's going on?
Look Up movie. That's probably what they were doing.
Good. This is great. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So there was a nice trailer, or nice of written trailer that leaked online, and I guess it looked really good. What's our
Do
next
not
slide?
send me a super chat to go to Celebration. Don't send me a super chat. Somebody just sent me a personal message.
Apparently there was a Knights of Ren, a Star Wars story on Disney Plus is coming. The trailer leaked online, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I already. Yeah.
Oh wait, no. I guess that's wrong. Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. I don't know how people are taking this on.
The rumors have debunked themselves in a matter of 2 days.
Really, that's a big surprise. So,
Wow.
if you tag me on IG, I'm not trying to be rude, but if like you tag me like, "Yo, did you see this new trailer? It's so great. It's awesome. I can't believe this leaked." And I go, "Yeah, there's a lot of fan videos that are really cool." I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just trying to not like kill your dreams and at the same time like let you know that it may not be real. Just so you know.
You know what partly tipped me off to it was one
the double lightsaber thing at the end where Kylo Ren.
First off, Ren and Kylo Ren were the only two to ever carry lightsabers. Neither one of them ever used 2 lightsabers.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And how Anakin was shot?
You don't know.
Because they do everything in animatronics now. That's actually something that came out. So like that would be the that fakes. What was that, Dom?
I'm saying that you don't know what their story is going to be about. Now they're going to be showing them in the Crimson Reign. You're going to see how they progress in that. We don't know beyond that.
Right.
They can get lightsabers. You don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, they already have lightsabers. Ren uses a lightsaber, but
I don't like to shoot down people's dreams. No, I don't.
Boy,
you don't want to enable. You don't want to enable, fantasy fabrications either.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this has been an emotional roller coaster so far. You got me real hyped up with that last slide, and you let me down real quick with this one.
Yeah, no, I mean they get at you pretty hard.
It's the Star Wars rumor mill.
They DM you and they're like, "Yo, so where did this come from? Do you know? And you're like, "Yo, I'm trying to be nice, but this, it's fake, right?" But either way, whatever. All right, go ahead. Next one up.
So this will be a cautionary tale for even people highly involved in Star Wars, not to follow the rumor mill so closely. So it could have large ramifications.
I know what happened here.
This story came out this week on a certain popular rumor site.
Yeah,
that we are getting a Bo-Katan spin-off series coming to
nice.
Disney Plus.
Well, that sounds like that could happen.
It's plausible. It's definitely plausible. We know we're going to see her again in Mando season 3.
Yes, Mando season 3.
And that's a culmination of Mando season 3 and Book of Fett's going to have her in it. Yeah. Okay. Well, what's next?
Yeah. So what happens next? Let's see.
Okay. What's next? Oh, I have to hit
okay. The stealth assassin Fennec Shand is apparently not a stealth online, but she takes popular rumor sites rumor and congratulates Katie Sackhoff on the show, the Bo-Katan show.
Have you out of the loop too? That's all that says.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen her do the interviews with Morrison?
Yeah,
have you seen any of their interviews? She's hilarious because she always is just like she's sarcastic, and I don't think people pick up on it.
She's already earned the nickname the Tom Holland of Star Wars.
Nice
with this one. So,
all right.
Well, there you go. Why are you saying that then? Is this post potentially just sarcasm, just misread?
Yeah. She did delete it within the same day, like very quickly. Well, or whoever runs her social media did.
Yeah, everybody's getting a spin-off. Yes, everybody's getting a spin-off. Everybody. Even if they don't show up, they're still getting it.
Yeah, the news all right, well, that's confirmed officially, but yeah.
So are we going to get a Max Rebo spin-off so we can find out if they're legs
going to get one of those? Yes, absolutely. Hey. All right. Now we'll get into comics real quickly, right? I want to see what happens between Rebels and Mando. Well, yeah, that's going to be a mess now with them having Ahsoka Tano.
It's called the original trilogy.
I think he's saying for
I think he's talking about like at the end of Rebels when they had the post scene where Sabine and Tano took off to go find Thrawn, which I think we all want to see, but now they've kind of screwed that timeline up. And I think probably, maybe John doesn't know as much as he thought he knew about Star Wars. So, and people just cover for him. Here we go. But we'll get into that later with the review because John's got taken out. HR Adventures 12, the High Republic Adventures 12. For some reason, Lulu is drawn like a child, and Yoda's head is 50 times too big for his body.
Yeah.
There is a dung Jedi here that shows up a couple times in the speeder thing, which is kind of interesting for those that don't know. That's that's the character that was going to kill Jar Jar Binks, but now there's a Jedi version of that new character. I guess nobody cares because he's going to blow up. Not now, but he will eventually. This book, unfortunately, is taking a turn because of the art. Like Crix now is like Lulu was 12, and Crix decided to go the opposite way, and he's like 30 now. That's him in the Mask of the Row. He, by the way, doesn't get mentioned in any other books. Like no other comics, no other novel. They don't even like.
He's in the novel.
What novel was he in?
He was in very briefly in well, actually, I think it was the audiobook, the Lorna D audiobook.
Oh, you're right.
He's in
they
one or two
mentioned
chapters
him.
of
She
that.
yeah. She mentioned him. So she got one mention in 5 books. Either way, they did give I thought it was kind of cool how they did show the fortress for what Crix's little group looks like. They end up finding out where it is, and you get
looks like a scene from Avatar.
Yeah,
Not
it
the
does.
sacred tree.
You get Zine and Crix having this back and forth about, like, I blew you out of the sky once, I'll blow you out again. Turns out that Zine blows him out of the castle area and he falls. And the whole time Lulu's like, don't kill him, but like, y'all are gonna die anyway. So what's the point at this point? Then you get the sister, the one that didn't die, Sabath or whatever her name is, the Krill girl, and she's like, hey, look, Crix, I knew you were gonna lose. I'm gonna set you up. She put him in a room with a bunch of gas, so you make the art very childish, right? But then you have him in a room where he's filled with gas and he's about to shoot to kill everybody. Like that's your whole plan here. Instead, Lou does the little Jedi trick, pushes Zine out of the way. Yay, everybody's saved. And the next episode is going to be a bake-off. So it doesn't... I'm very frustrated with this because this was one of the better... Like the first arc that the High Republic Adventures was probably the better of the books.
Well, I think they got their legs cut off. I think by the license thing.
Yeah,
they
but
got to end it now.
They're still gonna write it over there. I think.
No, from what I understand, it's not going to be a direct continuation.
I don't consider Race to Crash Point Tower an actual novel.
Well, it's still canon, right?
It's out of the shadows.
The kids stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this is the kids' book, so it makes sense.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it's he's like, for somebody who was like, in this book made him such an important sidekick to Ro, he like a mention and then 2 mentions in a kid book doesn't really do it for me, I guess. I don't know. Neither way. Yeah, so this book, the next one's a cook-off, and the one before this was a race. So yeah, way to ruin the one title that was doing good.
It's a one-shot. That's not really connected.
It's a one-shot. Yeah, I don't know how closely it'll tie into the story.
Yeah.
They do have one issue left before they lose before it goes to Dark Horse.
So it's the cake one, or the one after that's the one?
No, they have 13. The one after 13. This.
Lucky number 13.
Okay. Next up is one of the worst pictures of Boss on the cover where they drew him like a dog, which I don't know. Bounty Hunter is good. It's a little bit dry because they're keeping it between the
just everybody go like gaga for the Resistance.
Oh yeah, the Sprouse cover.
I mean,
yeah, that was the Sprouse cover everybody was looking for this week was the Resistance one.
Well, it was missing CB23 is what it was missing. Otherwise, Steve would have bought a ton of them.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Why wasn't CB20? That would have been CB23's
that would have been a cover
comic appearance. He would have gotten it.
I'm gonna DM Sprouse.
Do it. So because I was ordering them, I got a couple of those, and I'm just like, oh Jesus! All right, here we go. Bounty Hunters 20. They taught so Vakor, this chick that looks like she's a dude that's not a dude. She's actually a chick. Flies down to the Unbroken clan. The dad still complaining about like, oh, my daughter was killed. He does not know that he has a granddaughter at the time who like valiantly.
Somehow after your explanation, I'm still confused if it's a guy or a girl.
It's a chick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So the chick goes like, yo, he's like, you're just a street rat. That's how I've always, the chick's like, yo, I've looked up to you, you know, I'm part of this clan, blah, blah, blah. And the old man's like, my daughter's dead. The clan doesn't exist anymore. We're going to kill it. And she's like, no, you're not. And he's like, oh, I've looked up to you. I'm part of this clan. It's like, I'm part of your family. He goes, you're not part of my family. You're just a street rat, which makes her go kill her and then put on the Unbroken clan's armor and she takes over. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. Eventually it's going to be a fight between Valance, Afra, and probably Just Lucky. And they're going to try to reinstate the granddaughter, but that won't be till after Crimson Dawn is over. We then get into the real action where we bring in all the rest of the bounty hunters, the big group that's trying to go out there and get Zuckuss Forlom, and reunite the two lovers. Still trying to kill. I mean, they're still trying to kill each other. Well, one of them's still trying to kill each other. The other one isn't. He comes down, Zapper's do, Zapperoos. It was okay. It was kind of boring. You knew what was going to happen. eventually. Oh, I did think it was kind of messed up though. They had like dead bodies everywhere. So Zuckuss has been going around, or Forlom's been going around and killing people, right? What was happening in this? Yep.
Hey, I got a question on this one.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, actually, I read 3 of the 4, which is a 75. And back when I went to grade school, that was passing.
75% is passing.
So this is one of the ones I read. So is Zuckuss incapable of self-thought? Does he have to talk out loud? There's nobody around, and he
always does it. Yeah, he always does it. It's like a Yoda type thing.
Okay. I had to go back and double check. I was like, are these thought bubbles? Nope. He's talking to himself.
Yeah, no.
Nobody around.
Somebody.
So Forlom decapitates people, then Zuckuss decapitates Forlom, and then he's like, we can reprogram it, and he will help us out. They're trying to put it back on the body. Oh, and he does. He mind wipes them. The more important part, Dengar gets interrupted from his side piece, Mura, which you're kind of seeing. Like, that's kind of, I guess he's making out with her or whatever, but that is his side piece. It's kind of like the second time we see her because that's
all they can do because it takes him 3 hours to get dressed with all those wrappings.
He didn't even get unwrapped, so I don't know what's going on.
That's what I'm saying. He can't bother unwrap. He just can't.
But apparently, Destix, this great assassin, hires out crappy bounty hunters. Point of the story. Like I said, it was a gap. It wasn't terrible, but it was a gap book to the rest of Crimson Reign. So that's what we get. Eye of the Storm, Steve Horn. What did you think of Eye of the Storm?
I loved it. I love Charles Soule as a writer. I'm not actually a huge sci-fi fan, but I mean, he's written one of my favorite sci-fi comics, which is Letter 44, and he's just a craftsman. I love this. It was a great origin story. I can't wait to read the next issue.
So I thought it was really good, and they added in everything you wanted to. He starts out, he looks like a badass. They give you the actual name of the species, which for months we've been telling you that it wasn't the Chris, and it turns out that it isn't the Chris. But they give you the whole backstory. The whole backstory on the the Evrin or whatever, Evron.
Yeah. Evangelion. No.
So the Evron was this like cloud. That's where they got all the storms. They tell you the background to all the storms, the runners, the clouds, the whole thing. This group is messed up though. Like at one point they show them like they just keep battling each other because they're losing their planet. So they then shoot each other. Then after that, the old lady, the guy doesn't catch anything fishing. So the wife kicks him off. Like,
yeah,
it was brutal. Then the rest of them finally decide to leave the planet, but they start shooting each other. Then they found out that there's other people in the universe because apparently they didn't know that. So they decided to team up, but only team up to blow them up. Then they almost got killed because they didn't realize how big the universe was, and those people could probably kill them. They do the little setup thing where they poison people too. This is a good book. It really was a good read. And then it cuts there because they give the history lesson of them, and it comes to a young Marshawn Rowe, his dad and his grandma, and also Tika. So Tika mistakes him for the dad, and you kind of get this stuff. These were all like, this story was all kind of hinted at, but they never actually gave it, so it was kind of cool to see it, especially in comic book form. The dad does kick his mom. It is his mom, right?
Yeah,
it's his mom, not his wife's mom. Yeah, he kicks his mom off the balcony and kills her, which is kind of. And then we get for the first time Kassav, the Storm. That's the guy. He's dead, by the way. I mean, he's dead. And Pan's there too.
Well, at this point, yeah, he's dead.
Pan's dead. Is Pan dead, or do we not know? He's like 75. He's
died like twice now.
He's died like twice already.
But he's I can't remember the name of the species, Duethan or whatever, which is like super hard to kill.
Right. We get the Laura D in there too. So it's the original 3 storms that you heard in the first book. The dad ends up putting young Roe up into a plane, and to go against, like, they challenge the dad because they're like, yo, we liked your ma, but you might not be good enough for us. I think we're gonna leave. And he's like, well, I'll put my son in a ship, and if he starts killing you guys, you can say mercy, or you can have my ship if you end up shooting him down. So, of course, they go for it, and Roe starts using the pass to kill everybody. The dad's like, see, I have something called the pass. Y'all should follow me, and they do. They go, yeah, we're gonna follow you, which is a little foreshadowing because we know what's gonna happen next. But at the same time, I don't understand this part. So Ro does kill the dad, and a lot of people had blamed it on Pan in the story in the novels, but we kind of always knew it was Ro. Either way, he gets the hat, and then we've got
he gets the hat,
gets the helmet, which Crix eventually gets. Everybody gets the helmet, I guess.
Didn't he? There was he
It's like the Stanley Cup.
He plotted to kill his dad at one point, and Dee saved his life. Isn't that how she became so high up? Wasn't that in the audiobook, or am I mistaken?
No. They didn't know exactly what happened. I think Dee ended up helping him kill. I think Dee ended up helping.
I think it was some of his Tempest runners were trying to kill him, and Dee saved him. I don't know if it was Marshawn.
I don't know if it was Ro.
Sure, it wasn't just a Family Guy episode where Stewie was trying to kill his
mom. It was Pan and Kassav that was, and she ends up killing Kassav, the guy that's now very long and doesn't look like he did in the first Pan, but he's there at the table with her. Kassav uses the same lines like, "We had a lot of history with your dad," just like he said to the dad. "We had a lot of history with your mom." Like, okay, yeah, sure. We might, you better be. We'll see if you're up to it. Which, by the way, if you challenged him in the first time, and the dad's like, "I'm gonna throw my kid up there," and the kid wiped out half of your storm runners, wouldn't you just not mess with them? That was the one part I had a question about. But Rose says, yeah, I 100% is. We know what happens eventually.
He didn't do it. This kid did it. So why are you be scared of him?
Well, this kid right now that he just said, we don't know if you've got it in you, was the guy that was up there shooting down all the storm runners.
Yeah, but he did that.
Yeah, but he couldn't have done that without the old lady's help. She was making him pop up at different places right where he needed to be to fire and shoot.
Sure, but my question is, if I'm running a crew and I say to this guy's dad, "Yo, I want your ship, and I don't think we're gonna follow you," and the dad goes, "You know what? I'm gonna put my kid up in the ship. We'll see what's happening." And the kid goes and wipes out almost my entire crew. The last thing I'm going to say to the kid when he takes over is like, "Yeah, I don't think you're up to the challenge." Well, he probably shouldn't have because he gets killed, actually.
Maybe he was motivating him.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah. Well, he does get killed. Either way, at the end, we see the blood panel with all the Jedi in it. Nice. So that's kind of cool. I know Steve really liked that blood panel. He thought it was cool. You do see my man.
I think it needed the colorist needs some to try a little bit harder. Yeah.
There is a couple Nihil in there too, so I think it's just, I don't know. And our cook friend doesn't have an arm anymore, which sucks.
I feel like the colorist just got tired and was like, I'm just going to do everything red, and yeah. No.
Don't worry, we get to see part 2 in the next one. Like, this was a great story, but you're right, that last page kind of sucked. Yeah. Star Wars 20, we've kind of been talking about this for a while. Yoda, Luke meets up with Yoda, then the holocron does a little holocron thing. Yoda says, "Hey, there's this planet though. There's 3 planets that got temples on them, and the temples are dangerous, but if you can survive them," and the Russians that are in the chat, somebody get the Russians, please.
You can survive them and the Russians in the chat.
That you like, if you can survive them, they give you great stuff. Like, you can
don't block that Russian guy, because we can get foreign Star Wars comics from him.
They actually we actually accidentally let him go one time, Steve, and they actually pitch us porn sites.
I mean, whenever you see someone with a pie in their name, I mean, that's that's cool.
They do have Bane in their name, so they are reaching out to the right group.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Speaking of Bane, so we'll get to that in a minute. So Luke Skywalker shows up to the planet, then falls through, then has like a kind of induced force coma type situation. He ends up running in, and this is Man's first appearance here. I don't care how you characterize it, if it's a vision, if it's a... What they said was that the planet holds the person there, kind of. It's kind of like the in-between. They did the exact same thing they did with the world.
With Ahsoka?
Yeah, the planet makes a copy of them while they're there.
Yeah. Well, that's also like when you go into the worlds between, when they explain it, but they don't really explain it. It's like, you are doing time traveling, but that's not.
I look at it as like a copying of his consciousness or something.
Yeah.
Right, but at the end, it's kind of funny because if you actually read this, it's the planet's copying and trying to get you to stay on the planet at all points.
So it's like Krakoa and Gold Balls with the X-Men. They have copies.
Yes.
And or the Doctor Who episode in the library where there were copies.
What was the Alan Moore Superman issue where the grants your every wish or whatever?
Oh, that's right.
I can't remember the thing that latches on.
Was it All-Star Superman?
Either way, I
Annual.
hope you all
There's an
got
annual.
this book cheap. And by the way, when you're
Oh.
on 20 panels and they name you and they tell you about your time period and you have back and forth, it's a first appearance. I mean, I can't believe we even have to say that. In this upper part, though, something that really cool came up. They did bring up Darth Bane, which some people might say, like, oh, well, why is that important? If you read the novel, the latest one, what's it called, JJ?
The one that just came out, Fallen Star.
Yeah. Fallen Star. How can we do this without spoiling? Because we're going to review it. If you read the novel, out of the trifecta of people, Chris, Man, and
Geos.
And Geos, one of them's not alive. One of them touched the dark side. Figure out who it is. Okay, that's enough. We'll review it and probably do a singular thing. Either way, he tells Luke about how the High Republic was, brings up Bane, and how, so he obviously knows about the dark side users and studied it before, which his meditation portion brought it up in the novel. You might not know. He also talks about this big battle, or the preview of this big battle, and he kind of references it right there, which is also kind of cool. And if you know much about Legends and maybe around the Jedi and the Sith period, it seems like that's the battle, the Jedi versus Sith battle is what he's referencing kind of here, which would be super cool if they brought that back in. You do see him floating around in water, and then at the end he's like, yeah, why don't you stay here for a little bit? So somehow they can take the conscious and actually pitch him, because the very next page when he's like, no, I really have to go back, which is great that Luke decided to do that, because if not, he would have been sucked into the depth of that sand pit / blood. You're right, Steve. They love a lot of red and black, so it doesn't make any sense. But whatever that is, he then finds a book down there and then tells R2 that this is the book that's going to make him a Jedi, because he's still trying to be a Jedi. Really good.
Did anyone notice that Luke kind of does what Luke always does when he's confronted with an opportunity to learn something? Like there was one point in this book one point in the comic before he found this book, actually, that's forgot his name already. Man was like, hey, stick around, we can learn things or whatever. So I don't know if that was the planet trying to trap him there, maybe, or if it was actually a legit opportunity to learn something, to learn more, because we're always wondering, hey, how did Luke learn so much between this time and this time, Return of the Jedi? And what does Luke say? No, I got to go. I got things to do.
Yep.
I thought it was more like the planet was like absorbing him and is showing him all these great things. So like Mark said, so he would basically stay or, and then it could completely absorb him.
I think it's both of what you said is right. He always says he has to go because he's always got to be on the quest, and it's also the planet trying to absorb him. I will say this, Way Seeker, I didn't think it was that bad. I saw what they were doing with it. And good. When we do the review, I hope you're there so that we can hear your opinion, because I didn't think it's by far not the worst.
And it's so this book, just for us Star Wars amateurs, it's not the Book of Boba Fett that he's holding, right?
No, it's not the Book of Boba Fett.
Okay.
Can we go back one slide?
42.
Not everyone can be an expert like you.
No, we're friendly here. We're trying to not offend. We don't want to. I mean, it's our fandom. We want everybody to come in and just because we spend a lot of time doing it, we don't want to offend you by saying really, you don't know that that's a book of text. Okay.
So this guy in the middle of the pool, is that Chuck Norris? And then at the top, is that John Stamos? Are they? Gosh, they're good-looking Jedi, man.
I believe that's Qui-Gon Jinn in the bottom.
No, not in the bottom. I'm talking in the back, behind Yoda.
Oh, that's
looks like Chuck Norris.
Which one?
In the middle towards the right. He's the one saying we're here for you.
Right there.
Man and Geos. Okay. Yep.
I see the beard.
Yeah.
So
Chuck
so
Norris
there you go. What you get?
Chuck Norris doesn't sleep. He waits.
Hot. Let me tell you, it's not Half Price Crook. It's not much warmer up north.
Really cold here too.
Who wrote this? This wasn't Soul, was it?
Yeah, he's on Star Wars.
Did Soul wrote that?
He
wrote
did.
that Star Wars 20?
Yeah, he did.
I think he's still on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on it.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I mean, I gotta give an apology. This has been I have killed this book. All 19 issues of it, because all 19 issues sucked. This one was actually really good. But But I think I told people for like a week and a half now to buy it. So, I mean, if I'm telling you to buy a book that I've said sucked for months, you should probably buy it. All right. Next week, Dr. Afra. Good. We get a
Hondo
Doke and the DJ 50th Sprout.
Galaxy's Edge cover.
What's that?
It's Galaxy's Edge cover.
Yeah, it is a Galaxy Edge cover. All right. And then we get a bartender with one eye.
I was going to say, what's with the pirate Twilight?
Yarr. Also, this is kind of a gap book too, so it's going to be a gap book in. It's going to start towards the back end, and then, like I said, the Bake Off.
The Bake Off.
Now we've had this. This is what I want to know from you guys, and you can put it in the long-term chat, or you can just go DM Renovision at Renovision IG or whatever his IG is. Somebody has brought up a couple ideas. They want us to do actually bake whatever crap they have in this book. Let us know if you want to try that, because we can try making it.
Only if we do it in a big tent outside, and like the British Baking Show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never seen that before, but I do not know how that'll work. We might try it. I don't think any of us could. Jedi is excluded from this because he already asked, and his wife said there's no way that he's allowed in the kitchen. So, all right.
Been down that road before.
You also have got, even though this has got Kiwi and Chris fighting on the variant. What do you guys think of that variant? I put that in there because I have it's the one on the right.
I was going to say, which one's the variant? The one on the right?
One on the right.
I think it's for Dental Health Month.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like a Crest commercial.
Yeah.
So this is actually where we're going to see the D fight Chris, not actually, because remember last cover, we were supposed to see D and Chris fight, and they didn't. This is the one we're going to see them fight. So there you go. All right. And FOC, we've got Eye of the Storm 2. Both covers look kind of dope.
Yeah. I kind of like that second one. It's got a whole King Conan kind of thing at the end of Conan the Barbarian when he's.
Are you talking about the one on the right or left?
The right. On the throne.
I like the throne one. I also like the orange instead of doing red in the background.
But won't people be going? The one on the left will be the first of row without the helmet on, right?
It's long hair, holding the blaster,
right? The first time holding a blaster, right?
And having his right knee up. Yes.
What I want to know is, will we finally get an explanation of why the hell he's depicted in two different ways with two different costumes? Because all throughout Adventures, we saw him depicted as the way he was in the first issue of this. And now in the second issue, all the cover art has him with the actual eye-looking helmet on. So did he wear the eye-looking helmet on at one point and go back to the Storm-looking one with the eye in it?
Good question.
Star Wars. Okay, up next. He also said short hair.
Metal. That's all.
We just wanted to mention this real quickly. We talked about it last week. We said, hey, just don't get nervous about the Sprouts. We're probably gonna, and then they say they're gonna fulfill the Mando Grogu Sprouts covers. Yay. Okay. That's all for that. That was just a little mention. Traditional Captain Morgan stance. That's right. That was the Captain Morgan stance. I like it. I kind of like it because they're putting orange in the background of it. Hopefully, if that's how it comes out. Okay. Up next, we have got what? Pete, it's on you.
What's on me?
Well, are we going to do let the market decide update?
I don't know. You got to tell me. That's the next segment. That's fine. I don't got the outline in front of me. I'm watching the chat. I got things all up and going on. But we're going to do the market thing.
Yeah, do that. Then we'll get into our review. No pickups today. We don't have. We are.
Yeah, no, not today. You got to save it for next week.
Not today. We are. Did you read the chat where we said no?
I know. I did. I'm sorry.
Messing with you.
We might have time at end, Dom. We might have time at it.
All right, so let's look at where the market is now after a week. After a week, has anything moved? You'd be surprised.
Hey, Sticks, what's going on?
These are our little check-in for our hot Star Wars comics and our little Let the Market Decide segment. In our first group of books, we looked at all those first Black K covers. Sweet. Pick your poison, and I know Marco loves that Z-Box one, so we'll look at that one first. Well, last week, the Z-Box one had a bunch of sales. Yeah, all from $4 to what is that, $28, but it's for a pair. But this week, we got none.
You missed it, Lopez.
So there have been no sales of the Z-Box cover this past week. Like since, I guess, that Black K episode. It's just
So they sounds like they wiped them out as far as the listings that existed, and there just weren't any more listed.
maybe I didn't check what the market had was holding right now because I felt like streamline it. Let's move it forward. So I didn't check what's actually out there, but that's possible. But there's none out there right now, and they're all pretty cheap. The ones that did sell. But then we had that Hastings Vader 13 that had 5 sales last week. Ranging from anywhere from $85 to best offers on 100. But this week we've got twice as many sales, but the price has come down a little bit. So those $100, $80 sales are now down to more 65, 70, which is still a healthy number. But you got to say the price is a little bit down on this one. Just based on.
Chat's making me laugh, dude. Chat's just making me laugh.
Well, I can't look at the chat now because I got to
look at the chat. Don't look at the chat.
I don't know. But then we have that connecting cover as well.
This one.
Yeah, so we got this one, this Black K cover. Last week we had 12 sold, I think, ranging mostly in that like $20 to $30 kind of range. And there was, a 9.8 sale as well. But 12 last week. This past week, we've only got 6, but it's still in that kind of $20 to $30 range. So it's kind of flat.
Cool.
There may not be as many that sold, but price is still kind of that same kind of range.
Huh.
At least for now. Before he went skipping off into the sunset.
Hey,
that's where the price is right now. But speaking of our covers here,
I haven't got any bids on this yet. Just I wanted to add that in.
Which
what
one
is
that?
it?
4?
Oh, the 5th print is the Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Well, they
My
let him
Bargain
skip
Comics
the
eBay.
road. Make sure you're checking out My Bargain Comics on eBay, guys.
All right,
Good
I
plug.
have to go now. It's been good.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for
hang
coming,
on, guys.
Good plug.
just
Good
kidding.
plug. Good plug.
Well, for this one, we got the action figure cover, and then we have that 1 in 100 for the issue 20 that we looked at last week. So we'll look at the action figure cover first. So last week we had a healthy 13 sales, all going for like $65 to $90, moving pretty good. And this week, well, it's still moving. There's still 16 sales, and it's still selling, 56 at a low, but still hitting 90 at times.
Should pick that one up I threw against the wall last week.
So the price is still kind of in there, maintaining, and like I said, a couple more copies sold than the week before. So I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but that means there's almost 30 that's sold over the last 2 weeks. So that's
Well, everyone wants to pretend they have a Wookiee to play with,
Yeah, you can just bring. Oh, it doesn't open. But then we have our 1 in 100 for issue 20, which I still don't know what we're going to do with that.
Oh, we bought one of these cheap. Oh,
We did.
Yeah. Hey, wait, hold on. So does Jedi. Everybody's got one. Jedi got 2.
The next one. Oh, that's right. Jedi did get 2.
Thank you, Wanted Comics. If we got enough time, we'll show. After
I don't have one, but I do have one of these.
Well, the 1 in 100 last week there were 7 sales going from 80, and then it hit 130 at auction on the 7th.
Okay.
So that was last week. While this week, this 1 in 100, while there's only 3 sales I've got, but it still reached up to 142 now at auction on the 14th of January with 14 bids. So 100, 120. So the average and the high have moved up for Raws on this one.
Good news for us. We'll be giving one of these away, by the way.
We do have one to give away. I don't know what we're doing with it, but we do have
$40.
one to give away.
We did. All right.
Moving on, we're going to go to our Galactic Icons covers and try to speed through this part too, because, whereas last week we started with Boba Fett, the Galactic Icon cover, we had 7 sales. We're about $40 to $50. When we check in on it this week to see where it's at, it's still at about $50. No more 40s, so it's kind of maintained, but not as many sales. Only the pair. Kira, on the other hand, was actually I think. Sorry, did I skip through? I did skip through too fast.
I would start putting the number 1 in chat if I were listening right now. If I were one of the 36 people listening, I'd put the number 1 in chat right now.
I'll put number 1 in the chat. All right. So last week we had a couple of Kira sales where it was actually down from prior to release over the month before. Like everybody was speculating on Kira, so this cover was hot, 65, $80. But then this week, well, we don't have any that sold. So people are off this Kira train, I guess, for this Galactic Icons cover.
Who would have thought?
At the moment, at least buying it.
Who would have thought?
And then we had Cad Bane, pretty cool cover. I'll admit it, I do like these Galactic Icon covers, even though Rod Reese hated doing them.
Interview done by Renovision. Go check it out from like a year ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe Chris Nelms, three comic money or 3CM chats. None sold last week on the Bane, but
Only put it in once, chat. Only put it in once.
This we did have a sale. One sold for $40. So I didn't really give there's not an up or down. I mean, it's just one sold. Went from none to one. So there it is. And then for our final little pair, since we were talking about Bane, our Darth Bane issue 1s, the Dynamic Forces and the regular. When we quickly look at these, last week, the regular issue 1 had a bunch of sales, all ranging from $50 to like $112. Whereas this past week, we did have a few, but now, I mean, a couple of those are graded, so the 9.2s and the 9.6, we won't count that, but that raw still sold for $165. So the price on that raw is up from the week before, considering one sold for 50 something. And then finally, our Dynamic Forces number 1, this limited edition. I think there's 1,000 of them out there. Last week there was that one sale for $600 for one of these raw. Well, this isn't an easy book to find. There's not many out there, and this week we didn't have any sales. I'm not surprised by that.
Wow.
Okay, we're gonna start at Darth. We're gonna start at Comic Sticks number 1. We are going to run it down. They're going to tell me where are those. Oh, nice. We're going to run it down to those. I agree. We will use the first Shane, not the second one. We will redo it if the second one happens. And whoever is in there when they say stop is going to get Pete. Show them what they're going to win.
All right. We got this nicely in our little Mylar. I took it out. It's in pretty decent shape. I didn't see any issues, any problems with it. It's pretty clean. This 1/100 of Star Wars 20.
So we're going to go down to Joe's comment, which is agree. And we are going to go all the way up to Sticks. Okay. And tell me when to stop. 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 Tell me when to stop.
If nobody else is going to do it.
Oh, was I supposed to do it?
Sam!
I don't know who was
I
supposed
think
to.
Sam wanted one. Sam said, perfect. Oh my God, look at how that worked out. I missed that one. Maybe I'll get lucky. And guess what, Sam? You did get lucky. Send your information to Renovision. Jedi, do you want to plug somebody real quickly? Because we already got my bargain comics on eBay. And also, by the way, make sure that you're watching out for him and following him on the IGs. Because every once in a while, he has what I hear is crazy sales on something called Whatnot. I don't know what this is, but I hear he has
Whatnot.
Oh,
I'll do another one soon too.
But Jedi, since we're plugging things, would you like to plug somebody? Would you like to plug somebody?
Well, I mean, yeah, I did a little bit earlier. So, yeah, so when Drew over at Wanted Comics had these up for what looks like a bargain now, judging on what the prices we've seen lately, I grabbed 2 of them. Sorry to disappoint the chat. These are not going to be giveaways. These are going to probably go and get graded. Hopefully I get some 9.8s on these because Drew has a pretty good batting average with me anyway for getting 9.8s on comics that I get from him to send in. I also want to thank Drew.
Tapping those on your desk because you tapping on your desk.
No, they're in top holders. Okay.
Okay.
Be careful.
Yeah.
So I want to thank Drew. Also, he sent me a couple of freebies.
Nice.
I think I have these already. So these will make their way into the trivia prize pile at some point.
Is that a second print Vader one?
This is the second print Vader 1.
Yeah, with that weird little droid. Yeah.
3 or 2. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
And then we have, he also sent the Maul.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I like that one.
And I think, JJ, you're the expert. I think this might be a 1 in 25 of Star Wars 4.
I think it is, yeah.
It might
Yeah.
be.
Chicken
Yeah.
variant,
All
I
right.
think.
So make sure you stay till the end, because at the end we'll have trivia, and you know how trivia works. Well, actually, I don't even know how trivia works, but we
Well,
give
these
away
won't be
more
in the
stuff.
trivia today. I got to work these
Right.
in, but yeah, we do.
But we will
coming
have
up.
trivia at the end. We guarantee, as Dan the man said, my friend and yours, tomorrow's a holiday, so maybe we will run long today. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, next up, somebody just said, "Oh, I hear it."
Yeah, it was me.
All right.
You're killing me.
Next
Small.
up, let's bring them for what they came for. Right? This is what they came for.
All right. So
We're going to start out, and we're going to give. If you watched the Wednesday show, the tax show, the other live show that happens here on Renovision, exclusively on Renovision, with exclusively Tales from the Dark Side, presented by the Dark Side crew, then you know that we gave a spoiler-free Wednesday to you.
Sort
And
of.
on that spoiler-free, yeah, kind of.
Sort of
Yeah,
spoiler.
kind
Mostly.
So do you,
On
Sorta.
that spoiler-free Wednesday, there was a certain gentleman by the name of Turnover who decided that he was going to give the Book of Fett episode 3 a 7 out of 10. Now chat.
Hang on, Marco. The heart wants what the heart wants. Okay.
It does. Now
Exactly.
this is the deal. We understand that there's all type of fandoms. So we are going to I already see the chat. Okay. We are going to, out of respect, that we do know that we have a very, yes, Jedi, we'll get to your list of 10. Out of respect, though, we are going to give Dom 2 minutes to explain why it's a 7 out of 10. Then we will have Jedi give his 10 questions of what the bleep to even out those two things, and we will not cramp on either person. And then we will go into the 3-part review. We did break the review down into 3 parts so that we can dissect. And then, as I promised, I can tell you how it should have been written. Okay, Dom, are you ready?
Then I'll tell you how it should have been directed.
I'm as ready as I can possibly be. Let's go.
Okay,
do
let's
this.
go. You got 2 minutes, bud.
All right. The Book of Boba Fett, episode 3, The Streets of Moespa. All right. I gave it a 7 out of 10 because it furthered the evolution of Boba Fett as a crime lord. Yes, even though he seems like a nice crime lord, he's putting the chess pieces in place. You got to see why he chose to become a crime lord, because of the destruction and killing of all the Tusken Raiders that he trained with. The Rancor was a treat, because the Rancor, every Star Wars needs a Rancor. Yes, Rancors are gentle, but if provoked, they're going to be just like dogs. And to have Danny Trejo as the Rancor keeper, that is awesome in Star Wars. That, now being said, the speeder bike, punk, skittle,
1 minute, please. 1 minute, please.
if you look at that, George Lucas's original plan, if George Lucas directed this, he would have had this, because if you look at the prequels, everything was shiny in the prequels. The prequels had very shiny ships, and everything was bright in the prequels. And because of the bikes, the bikes were colorful, and you got to see how they work. Boba Fett has a plan. He is putting the pieces in place. And those cyberpunk kids are a big part of it. They will become a really good part of Star Wars moving in the future. Oh, well, at least the girl, because the other ones are getting killed off. I know they are.
All right. Hey, go ahead. Finish. You can finish.
I'm just saying that the whole thing with Black K, it was awesome to see how everybody worked together to take him down. They didn't neuter Black K to make him weak. He almost killed Fett. Fett didn't have his armor.
Should've. He was sleeping.
Yeah, he was. He could have died, but you got to see how the cyberpunks worked and how everybody came about. Look, it has all the plays of all the Star Wars lore that people want. You had the Hutts, you had comic book characters coming in there, you had fight scenes, you had new characters being made, you had a Rancor, Danny Trejo as a Rancor keeper. I'm gonna keep saying that because that's one of the greatest things they possibly could do. The story, the speed chase, it might have been slow, but there's reasons why it was slow. So moving forward, this episode Exactly. I love that.
All right.
Sorry,
All
Dom. I
right.
couldn't help myself.
All right.
No, but look, there's a lot in this episode that people overlook because of all the disagreements of what they think was bad about the episode. The episode, was it the greatest? No, but it did have a lot of good points and a lot of good pieces that are putting into play moving forward. And at the end, it's 7.5 because there's a lot of Star Wars lore.
7.5. He upped it another half.
7.5. He likes it even better now than he did on Wednesday.
7.9. You can go 7.5. Dom, that was great. Hey, listen.
Hey, do I hear 8? Do I hear 8?
No. As much as we joke around,
Can we go 8.5? Tom, 9? 9.
Hold
Do I hear
it,
9?
as much as we joke around, this is legitimately how Don views it, and there are other people that view it like that. I mean, as much as what's going to happen next is going to happen, because I have been one of the more positive people on this thing, and I've actually kind of been on Dom's side most of it. That shit ain't gonna happen tonight. But to rebuttal, make sure that you do it in respectful, right? Dom, it's fun to joke on him. He can take it. He can definitely take it.
Just bring it on.
There are people that feel that way, that they really do like this. Like, I think Jedi said everything he sees, nobody likes it. But I will tell you, being in the fandom, there was a lot of people who have similar stories and similar things to say that Dom was saying, and I 100% disagree. All right,
Yeah, you're gonna have to fill a minute or two before we get to Jedi's thing. I need a second because my can overflowed. So you guys got to chit chat for a minute.
You know who else liked it? My grandpa, who only eats butterscotch candies, really enjoyed this episode. he thought Boba Fett made a strong showing, and he wanted to hand him one of those butterscotches.
That's right. This isn't a bit, by the way. I just want to make sure you guys are clear. Like, this is not Dom. This isn't a bit. This is 100%. I actually let him have this. I said, like, let's put Dom on first because I know if we don't let him say what he's going to say, it's going to get buried later on. And like, this is the Styx thing with Resistance all the time, which is crap also. That Styx is always raving about how it's not so bad. It's the same thing with with Ruben. And Ruben coming out here and saying, oh, episode 9 didn't actually make... No, it doesn't make any damn sense. Like, it's okay. It's okay to have crap every once in a while because that's when you know it's good. So, are we ready for Jedi's portion, Pete?
Yes.
That's funny because Ruben probably has the deepest voice of anybody I've heard in a long time. And
he surprised me with his voice, too, when he said that. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
All right, are we
not ready because you need me to do this part.
Okay, Pete.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just foamed up. It just opened a can and I can shake it up.
Oh, you blew a beer everywhere. Resistance
not everywhere. Just kind of slowly erupted out onto my hand.
I heard this episode. This made me want to. Joe, good shit, Joe. I heard next episode. Fett. I can't wait. Let's get Jedi stuff going because I got a whole notebook full of shit.
I know you know how hard it was to not say anything during Tom's part, but
I speared my wife.
Okay, so hey, to be fair, I was making a list. I didn't know how many I was going to have, and then Marco said, "Hey, make it 10." So I was like, "Wow, 10? That's going to be hard." Well, it really wasn't. I made these 10, but to be fair, I also gave each question some thought, and I was like, "Okay, we're going to try to come up with some plausible explanations to how this happened." So the first thing I wanted to know is how did Black K get all the way to Boba Fett's back to tank without being noticed? So plausible explanation. I mean, he did formerly work for Jabba the Hutt, so he was probably familiar with the ins and outs of Jabba's palace, the secret passages and, escape tunnels, et cetera. So maybe that's how he did it. I also, heard somebody say, well, it was nighttime. Everybody was asleep. That's a terrible explanation. And anybody that's been in the military knows that's a terrible explanation. You don't let your guard down at night. So,
no.
Okay.
I know the answer.
That's my first head scratcher was how did he get in there so easily? So that's what I thought. Anybody else feel free to give me your
Sure.
Boba didn't take his Geritol.
Oh, go ahead.
Boba didn't take his Geritol.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think there's a deleted scene where he breaks the fourth wall, kind of like Elmer Fudd, and says, shh, I'm being be very, very quiet. You know, I'm hunting a Fett.
Well, here's my quick question.
We should've
What
left that
criminal empire did Boba inherit by killing Bib Fortuna? Because to me, it looks like he got a droid and 2 Gamorrean guards. And that's
Yes.
it. No one else worked for
There's
him?
Ben.
It also came with a Sam's Club membership.
It kind of explains
That's
why
where
it's
he's
so easy
getting
to
all, that's
kill
where
Bib
he's getting all
Fortuna.
this food in bulk. That's where he gets all those
Yeah.
snails.
Yeah, what did Bib have working
That's
for
a
him?
good point, JJ. Yeah.
He got a book.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, yeah, like
Moving
JJ
on.
just said, I mean, Boba just kind of strolled right in and shot Bib right between the eyes. So I
Yeah.
don't know if he met any resistance either.
There's parts though that they explained that later that Bib was kind of toothless.
Well, be that as it may.
Okay, so
Well, that's the thing, you
second
have a bunch of
question: Why didn't
out-of-work
Black
street
K
kids
just
just-
shoot Boba while he laid? Why didn't he just shoot Boba while he lay sleeping in
even
his
bring the
back to
blaster
tank? Possible explanation: gonna make too much noise. He wanted to do the hit and leave. Another explanation is, BK is probably first and foremost a gladiator. So he might have thought that was the coward's way out of just shooting Boba Fett. He wanted to prove himself hand to hand. And of course, killing Boba Fett with your bare hands, that would probably really amp up his reputation as a gladiator as well. So
I killed a
possible
naked
explanation
old
number
man.
2. Why didn't he just shoot him? Huh?
He was getting high on Hut's marijuana juice and forgot to bring his
Called
crossbow.
Destics.
See, I was thinking Metal Gear Solid
Spice.
situation where, like, if he shot him, then like the big exclamation mark would appear over his head and the alert sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he didn't have a
There's
cardboard
that,
box
but
on
then-
hand to hide in.
But then, of course, he opens the back to tank and he goes, that's
Start
totally,
screaming, yeah.
totally
Wake up.
less quiet. Yeah, sure. Less quiet than
We'll get into that goat. We'll get into it later.
All right.
Okay, so what they're calling the mod, because of their body modifications, the bod
In the
spike
60s.
game was a letdown. Why did they need to steal water? They obviously could afford their body droid modifications and their Fast and Furious. I need a 10-second speeder bike, Brian. So plausible explanation. They steal the water to make a point about the price gouging and to increase their reputation. Okay, I mean, the one guy even said he paid later on when they Boba Fett kind of stumbled into like keep an eye on it, and the guy said, "Oh, I'm proud of my eye. I paid a lot of money for it." So they got money, right? I mean, they're not like he said he paid a lot of money for it. He didn't say I stole it or anything. So they have money. So the only plausible explanation is they were stealing water to make a point that they disagreed with the price gouging and et cetera, et cetera. My question, another follow-up question, are they kind of robbing? I don't know if we're ever going to find out. Are they Robin Hood types? Do they give away any of this water that they steal, or do they just drink it themselves? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe
No,
I
it's
doubt we'll
for,
see.
it's
But
for their hot
In
tub
the
time
next
machine.
episode, we'll cover that. Hopefully,
that's the
in
next
depth.
episode.
I was thinking those youngins need better money management. They, spend all the money on the Vespas and not enough on the water.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
well,
need
it's
100 different rearview mirrors. Just
Well,
let it
think
go.
about it. If you want Star Wars, it makes no sense. Fennec Shan's eating. She has robotic stomach. How is she eating?
Yo, she still got taste buds, bro.
Yeah, the
I
taste
know,
buds work.
Get out of here.
It's Star Wars.
Maybe the
RoboCop
robotic
ate
stomach works better.
Baby food.
Like digest.
You guys, the girl who's in charge of the biker gang, she likes to have some hot tub time with her boys, so she needs a lot of water for that.
I was going to bring this up
Okay.
later, but did anybody find it odd they never named any of them? Am I the only one that, or did I miss it?
No, I noticed that
No.
as well. Even in the
No,
audio
he said it.
description, they don't give them names.
Boba Fett called out her name. He said her name.
Yeah,
He
Blue
did.
Ranger.
Oh, he said Dashy or whatever her name is.
I didn't
Darsh.
catch that.
Crush.
Yeah. Darsh.
Kim,
Darsh.
Kimberly.
Darsh.
That was Kimberly.
All right, keep going through this. We're never going to
All
get
right,
to this
I'm
10. Let's move
Okay.
on.
Hey, how far is Jabba's palace from the city of Mos Espa? Because I don't know, but everyone seems to walk there, and they seem to walk when they leave. So, I mean, is it like in the suburbs? Is it like it just
Yeah,
seems
it's up in
like
the mountains.
everyone walks there? It must be pretty close to the city, right?
I think it's,
Either that or they got gates. Yeah, he's got some blocking.
Yeah,
so
it's a
you can't-
gated. It's a gated subdivision.
A gated community
community.
just for him.
It's an HOA.
Okay, easy one. Next.
Either way, we'll go to number 5.
Monorail.
So why do we keep seeing flashbacks of young Boba Fett watching his father Jango fly off in Camino? I don't know this either. I just wonder, are they planting seeds for a live-action young Boba Fett series, possibly? Thoughts?
No. They don't have a young Boba Fett because that kid's got to be like 30 now.
They
They keep
find
showing
somebody
the
that looks
same
like it.
flashback.
Shit, who knows? Bubba Morrison looks about 90 and he walks like it too. So I mean, they could do whatever.
There's a reason why they're showing these flashbacks.
Don't
Can you
pluralize
tell
it.
us
It's
why,
the
or
same
is that the end
flashback.
of your?
It's the same scene.
I know, but there's a reason why they keep doing it. There's his father left him. It's all going to come into play. You're going to see it, and you're going to be like, "Oh,
That doesn't make it good just because it's going to come into play." All right, next up.
Well, hopefully that would be as good as the Young Indiana Jones adventures. You know,
Okay. Next
Hey,
question.
don't
Sean
knock
Patrick
Sean Patrick Flannery and his young acting skills. All right?
I'm sorry.
He's in Boondock Saints.
You're right.
Such a successful career.
Oh, he's the kid in Boondock Saints. He's one of the brothers.
Nice. One
Why
went to
didn't
Walking
we
Dead,
see
other
the
one-
dead body of the Tuscan warrior after the village slaughter by the Nikto gang? Plausible explanation: she's still alive, and we're going to get more flashbacks of a rescue and the annihilation of the Nikto gang. Could we also find out that it really wasn't the Nikto gang, but really the Pikes who framed the Niktos in an attempt to
giving away our
eliminate
whole
paying
next
protection
segment.
fees across the territory?
I told you.
Giving away the
She
whole
went on-
next
she
segment.
went on
We
a-
should cut these. You should edit these, Pete, when we have this plan. All
You
right,
asked
next up.
for 10.
She was at the spa.
Said he had time.
She was at the spa taking a day, and when she comes back, things are
Yeah, for sure. All right, next up. Good call, Sam.
And we'll talk about them.
Why was Mos Espa chase scene of the Major Domo so long?
Oh,
I don't know, because it seems like Boba could have just jetpacked down at any moment and landed in the passenger seat of the Cadillac Speeder. Does Boba even know how to use that thing?
So is this how we got dad jokes passed through the censors?
Maybe.
Censors.
These are legit questions.
Yeah, they
These
are.
aren't questions. Because he did it at the end anyway. Anyway, number 8.
Why did the Major Domo run in the first place? This was kind of a stretch for me, but where was he running to? I think the scene smelled of filler. All that silly chasing of the Major Domo, just so at the end a defeated Domo could reveal the mayor's real motives to Boba Fett. I
They
think
just
They
wanted
did
to
say going to your mom's house.
They did say if he went into that room and it was empty, they were going to kill him or something. I think.
Oh, I didn't.
Did they say something along that lines?
I don't.
If he said he was the
Oh,
mayor,
he
if he
didn't
lied,
let him in there.
That Rancor was awfully big for a calf. It was almost, I think it was just as big, at least to my eyesight, as the Rancor in Return of the Jedi. Was the Rancor, whose name was Patissa in Return of the Jedi, a calf too? And what does that make the Rancor Moochie in the Bad Batch episode? Was she an infant?
This whole thing was shit.
Number 10.
And is the Boba Fett Rancor an offspring of Patissa and Moochie, or at least an offspring of Moochie? Plausible explanation: because Patissa was a male, Moochie was is a female. Both were owned by the Hutts. This new Rancor was bred from champion stock, and it makes sense the Hutts would have champion stock. The timeline, I can't believe I'm saying it, could work maybe, especially for Moochie. Those are my 10 thoughts.
How
I
fast
don't know what
Rancor
Marco
works.
thought they were going to
Yeah,
be.
I don't know
but
how
those are my
fast
10
Rancor
thoughts.
grow.
I didn't know what they were going to be. You said you had 10 points, so I was letting that counter the Dom thing so he didn't
No,
get
I said I had
murdered too
10
much.
questions. I was writing things down. That
Yeah,
I
he
had
had
questions.
questions.
about.
Oh,
Mhm.
whatever. 10 points,
Those are
whatever. It is.
great,
All right.
great questions.
Yeah, they were good. Now let's get into some of the other stuff. First off, this episode was crap. I think that's the best point of it. But we'll start off. We broke up into 3 sections. Holy crap! I can't believe we're going over this.
We're just going now, right?
So here we go. We started off with the one scene everybody saw. This actually was kind of cool. It actually started off with great potential here. We have the droid explaining the breakdown of the city, kind of what we wanted, how the 3 gangs work. We'll get into this point about what this droid actually is later. Then you get the stapler guy from off. You know, the guys that's
Mhm.
my
Yeah, Milton.
He
He was actually let go 5 years ago, but nobody told him. So
Right.
through
He
some
insults
payroll, he's still getting paid.
just lost
Yep,
it.
that's the guy.
We just lost it 100%. Oh, there we go. He insulted Boba Fett a bunch of times and then kind of came up with this thing. The one thing that he said here, which actually, this was actually opened up how the writing could have been good. He's like, if you take care of the problem, I'll give you double what I pay you now, which is kind of interesting. Can you see it still? Because I can't see it whenever I hit play again.
Well, I thought his character was interesting in that he touched on a question that a lot of people who watch the show are asking is like, why are you calling yourself a crime lord and doing nothing of interest and being so soft-hearted to everyone?
Which he still does nothing of interest. They walk through the village. So we already got to see the streets of Mos Espa. We didn't need to see him again because we got to see him right now. They're walking through the streets of Mos Espa. You get them, and they come up to this group. Now, holy shit. First off, the group, as everybody's already mentioned, looks rich and does not care. He then repeats.
You walk around a fire trash can. That's what you do, right?
Look at how clean she is. Everything else, it was bad.
That's a brand new.
He comes out.
It's like the homeless
Go
guy
ahead.
from Batman Begins after he gave him his coat.
Yeah, it was bad, dude. The bikers were too nut. Like, this is what I'll say about this. Like, it had a great concept, and why I blame John for this is because we found out something through Dave Klein, the guy who does all the shooting for this. John came up with an animatics of how they're supposed to shoot all this shit and the writing, and then ended up giving it to him. We'll run this back again, but so
I was trying to figure it out because even just showing what you showed, it made no sense. Like,
Right.
are they literally hanging outside of
They are. They're
Milton's
hanging outside.
water place?
They are, yeah. And what he said makes no fucking sense. And what
Like,
Boba Fett makes
you're hanging out outside the place of the guy you just robbed?
Yeah.
What sense does this make?
drinking water. So this is how I would have rewrote it. So I'd go,
It's
this
their
is okay
clubhouse.
right here. This is okay right here. He comes in and complains and even says the double up thing. Kind of makes the thing. You get Fennec, make him a little bit more of a threat than she actually did because she's actually a badass, unlike Boba Fett, who's kind of a pussy at this point. They go down there. Instead of having the girl crash or dash or whatever they call her, mouth off, you have like the eye socket guy mouth off, right?
Yeah, the
And
Red
then Boba-
Ranger.
Yeah, and then Boba Fett uses the same thing for Mandalorian, where he uses the like grappling hook type thing and ropes him up and's like, listen, Dom got knocked out. He says, listen, here, either pay up or what are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And then she comes out and goes like, well, actually, he's been ripping us off. When the water guy comes back out, he goes, yo, have you been ripping him off? Yeah, I've been charging double. And he goes, well, now listen, I'm going to give you the $500. You kids can work for me now. I mean, they could have written it so much better where you don't have that shit going on. Oh, God, the flashback again, too. But so anyways, you have one up there. She ends up saving the guy, stuff like that. Where are we at this point? This thing keeps flipping. I can't see what's going on with this.
We got Amy Sedaris walking with the droid.
Telemundo.
Good. So then eventually she's like, listen, we're only stealing from him because we're doing the Robin Hood thing. Like, she should have done that. Like, we're helping out your people more than you are. But she's apologetic about it because they've already got one-eyed guy hanging in the air. That would have made perfect sense for that scene. He'd be like, oh, you guys are like the little crew. I'll take you in. I'll pay you money. What? That's what they should have done. That's what they should have done.
Well, that still would have made sense to you.
It would have made sense. Yeah. That he ends up telling the guy that
this team of Vespa riding gang with their brand new
oh,
clothes.
it's better. No. We
in
gotta
a
fix
dirt desert town that's buying water.
Oh, you of course are making their bikes like beat up. You're not giving them the fucking 15 colors of the lifesavers there. No, fuck that. You're not getting
What I'm
lifesavers.
saying, like that still
getting
made sense. I
lifesavers.
still would have had. All I'm saying is, I still would have had problems even with your fantasy.
Cybernetics malfunction. You have somebody come out and try to save them, like one of the regular people, and verify her story that actually they were stealing the water to give to them, and that person was helping give them the cybernetics, even though they didn't work properly, to steal the water because the people on the planet need water. You absolutely do all that shit. That's how you do that right there. And then you threaten that guy, and that guy's going to backstab you eventually. And by only giving him once, say if you raise up the water price, then you're fucked because I'm going to charge you double as a thing. All right. Then they do the flashback because, of course, they got to do a flashback. Flashbacks are usually good. I don't know why they keep doing this. I get it. You miss your dad. He was an absentee dad, and that sucks. Good luck with that kid.
But he's not really your dad. He's really you.
Right. He is really you. Also, something they shouldn't do is use Morrison because he is not. He's not good.
What?
Number two.
Speed 2.
What's that?
He was great in Speed 2.
We're good. Fine. Whatever. He's not good here. Number 2, this point right here, I actually liked it because it gave you a timeline of when this part's actually occurring. And I believe it did speed it. Once again, it sped up those, like, I was in the pit. I was training with the Raiders. Like, we're speeding those 5 years up real quickly so we can get to where we need to be. So it gives you a little time reference. JJ mentioned this part because I can't see the screen, but I bet you this is the part where what's-her-name's walking with the droids in the background, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
He ended up getting to the Pike. I do like King Pike. Like, I thought this was actually the part of the timeline. I know that he was on the Banta for way the fuck too long, right? We all agree on that.
Yeah. Yes.
But the walking in Mos Espa or Mos Eisley, the whole part of doing this, right, or Mos Espa, this whole part here where he talks to the actual the Pike Lord and the backstabbing was actually done pretty well. This was probably these 7 minutes were probably the best part of the whole fucking show. What else do we have? Somebody else is gonna have to describe it because I can't see shit.
Well, that's
I'm
it.
just wondering
That-
how
was
we
it?
haven't
Oh,
seen,
the
We didn't
murdering
see
of
the other.
So we go to the murdering of it. They killed everything. Which we did get to see, which they bring up. And then I will say this: me and JJ have a dispute here. I listened to the audio on this. It said while they were doing.
You're letting it run.
I know. I stopped it. Go ahead, JJ.
Well, I tried to.
You don't need to listen to the audio.
Well, I'm just
It's
saying.
visually there for you to see.
I get what you're saying, but JJ is under the impression they killed the woman and threw her stick on
I didn't
there.
say he killed her. I said
Okay.
that's his stick that he throws in the fire.
Yeah, it does
Throws
look like
three
her.
sticks in. The second
the
one.
kid's
is-
stick.
For the chieftains,
The woman
it
or
looked
the
like it's
kid?
her.
The
Woman.
kid, that's the kid's stick.
First stick
No,
that
he
was
throws
no,
three
his
sticks
stick at
in.
the
The
end.
first one's the
Marvin didn't get a
chieftains. The
picture of
second
it.
one is hers.
Yeah, I-
The third one is the kids.
Yeah, because they don't let on the iPad. They just blank out and stuff.
That
So
doesn't
the
mean she's
first-
dead. I'm just saying.
The first stick
it
that they
goes in
throw
there.
in, the verbal reference is as Boba Fett is throwing gaffies onto the fire. He then stops at the chieftains, looks it over, throws his in, and then takes the child one from underneath. Now, I will say it does look a lot like her, but I think they purposely left out that he didn't. She's a female warrior.
Well, they
Why
didn't
would
show
you
her
not?
body
chieftain dead.
as
You saw the chieftain dead.
as he was
Yeah, the chieftain's
re-entering
dead.
the
We know that.
So as he was re-entering the village, the smoldering village, they made a point to show the chieftain's body and I believe the little kid's body. They did not. They made a point.
don't think they
not
showed the
to
kid's
show
body.
the
No,
warrior
they didn't show
body.
the kid.
No, they didn't.
No,
They
they
just showed
didn't.
him water up when he looked over.
I
They
thought
didn't
they
show the
did.
kid. No, they didn't.
No.
It's Disney. They ain't gonna show the
Yeah,
kids.
they're not gonna show it.
I'm gonna look at it again. I thought they did. Okay.
Yeah, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. They did. They did show the chieftain's body, and they made a point of mentioning that too in the narration. So I don't know. I mean, I'm always under the theory JJ and Pete were right. They killed the tribe, but once again, I still think she's alive and going to go out and unify the other tribes. But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Wait. Now, before
Go
we
ahead.
go on from this, I know I've been hardcore against the flashbacks.
The flashbacks is the best part. I told you guys.
No. I still. The flashbacks is the best part because they've done the
Because
rest
you
of
made
the
the
show
rest of it shitty,
crappily, but that's a low bar to clear. But my point here was going to be that I wanted less flashback, but this was actually one instance where I got absolutely zero story. They killed everyone off screen.
Yeah.
JJ, I will tell you. No, this goes for you and the majority of the chat. You all, for the last 2 weeks, while Dom was saying, don't worry, it's getting better, which I also think is stupid because it didn't get better. I've been telling you, don't say it's going to get better because you never know what's going to happen.
I never said it was going to get better.
Yeah,
See,
this is
the
resistant.
fact that it happened off screen is why I think maybe the Pikes did it.
I think
Well,
I'll
maybe,
play-
but
yeah.
my point is, like,
Number-
we're probably
number
going to see a flashback within a flashback now of who actually did it or something.
Yeah,
Because
or-
why else would it be off screen? Like,
Well, if you
And
notice,
so we're going to be flashing back to the same flashback period we've already flashed back to.
Horseshit number
The flashbacks aren't
two.
even linear.
Horseshit number two. You've been arguing not to have flashbacks. I want to see more of what's going on. This episode gave you more of what's going on in the planet. And our
I
writing
acknowledge
sucks.
But because they did it wrong.
that doesn't. Never mind. This is a pointless
you guys-
argument with Marco. I don't think he understands the narratively
You guys
how
got
things are supposed
mod
to work.
bikes. You guys got steal the water, but we're rich. You don't want sometimes what they're going to give you. They give you sucky stuff. This was
Well, just
sucky
because they did it wrong doesn't mean JJ was wrong. Because I agree, the flashbacks were it wasn't
every
balanced.
time. Every
Maybe,
time it
maybe this part, maybe this episode. Has anybody thought that maybe this episode would have been better if instead of getting
they did
an
do
hour of
they do a Boba
flashbacks and
Fett
90
story?
minutes
Yeah.
of total TV, we actually spaced that Tuscan story out in like 10-minute flashbacks over the course of like 4 or 5 episodes.
Well, who knows? We're still going to get flashbacks.
We still get we still get the bikes. This is what would have made this episode. This is what would have made this episode better. If they didn't touch stuff from the original 3 movies, if you never did anything with Boba Fett and just left them the fuck alone, we wouldn't have gotten this shit. We wouldn't have gotten this shit.
A show at all.
Good.
Okay, but
I'd rather have a show.
That's not a great argument.
I'd rather
That's a
not have
horrible
a show than have this. No, come on. You can't tell me.
I think his argument is this is Wolverine Origins right
Yeah.
here. Like, we didn't
Telling
need the
you,
story.
Sure.
that's what-
Sure.
But you were so hyped about it for 2 episodes.
Oh, I thought it was great because they didn't.
Can I
mess
give you
anything
2
up.
points?
Well,
They literally didn't mess anything up, and then this episode they messed it all up.
All right, let Tom go. Let Tom argue the other
Look,
side.
Really quick, of what I learned, that the budget to the Book of Boba Fett is nowhere near what the Mandalorian was.
Get the fuck out.
No,
dude.
Much don't matter.
Okay,
of
who
course
cares?
not. Yeah, I know, but
Who cares if the
is that
budget's small? You can
every-
still write it
I
better.
know they could write. It was a missed opportunity. It was a kind of a dull. Do you ever think that maybe that one was the mini filler to what's coming? The
7
war is
episodes,
coming.
But you only have 7 episodes.
I-
You shouldn't have filler. There shouldn't be
Dom,
any
A
filler.
slow burn. That's what they're doing. That's what
Dom.
Disney does.
Dom, seriously, you and a lot of people in the chat have been saying, "Oh, it's good, but it's going to get better. But it's going to get better." And I said, "Watch what you're saying." And guess what? It's going to get better. This episode, it's going to get better. And then we got this.
I had an interesting thought right before we came on here because I was finishing up the news slides, and it's somewhat related to that. So that Knights of Ren trailer that leaked played it off as like it was going to be like a Disney Plus movie, right? Like a 90-minute feature just on Disney Plus, like you see on Netflix or whatever like that.
I do too. I appreciate
That is probably what they should have done with this. This whole series could have been Book of Boba Fett, the movie. 90 minutes. Just flesh it out how you're going to flesh it out. You don't need to make it 7 episodes.
We can't
with
say
weird, like 50-minute episode followed by 38-minute episode and bouncing all around. Like
We haven't
making a movie.
the worst part of this yet.
We don't know what the next 4 are, so I can't say that yet. That's what they should have done. All I can say is I now understand why they didn't give us 2 episodes at the start. Could you imagine? We saw those first 2 episodes together, and then when we come back, and this is what we get. They would be dead.
This is what I warned you about. That's what
Here's
I
my problem.
warned
You
you
said it was good.
Here's my problem with the flashbacks.
They were. Look at compared to this, those first 2, and I still say the first 2 episodes were good. Don't say it's going to get better. You don't know what you're going to get.
All right, let me ask you a question. Wait till the show is over with. Once the show is
That's
over
not
with,
how this works. They give it.
Hang on.
I know.
Hang on.
But
Dom.
once it's over with,
You can judge an episode on its own merits, right? You don't have to wait till the whole thing is done. And here's my problem with the flashback so far is that we see Boba Fett making the same mistakes in the flashback as he is in present day.
Which is bad writing. Terrible writing, by the way.
If you're gonna have a flashback where he's green behind the ears, I mean the dude is a bounty hunter, right? And we want to see him transform from bounty hunter to crime lord or daimyo, or whatever you want to call him. But he's making the same kinds of mistakes. So what is the purpose of the flashbacks? We're following the same trajectory for both young Boba and old Boba. I guess middle-aged Boba and old Boba. It's the same guy twice.
Okay, before you guys all start this with the directing, the directing wasn't good. I get that, but the writing is worse.
No,
Both are terrible.
You have to blame
they're
the
both
writing.
bad, but the directing was still worse because they still could have given us
not the
a
writing.
serviceable
Writing
episode
whole-
with this material.
No, stop. Because we have found out now from interviews that John wrote it, and then instead of doing storyboards, did animatronics or the previs, and ended up giving that to him, stating what the people are supposed to say, stating how the scene's supposed to shoot out.
I don't care.
He wrote those fucking bikes in there, those Vespas.
I don't care. You can still film it better. You can still make a chase scene entertaining and exciting.
In the fucking desert better.
You can make a chase scene through a city exciting.
And Rodriguez, because I've said this before, I didn't think he was right for that. But you cannot write Vespas that are sparkling and got 15.
You don't have to fucking write Vespas. That's the point. That's up to the director to direct an action scene properly so it's fucking exciting.
With Vespas with no dirt.
All I'm saying is you can write a chase scene through a cityscape exciting.
man,
Have
what
you
are you
seen the
doing
French
here?
Connection? You don't need money. You
haven't
don't
made it
need
up.
like anything. You just need to know how to
Haven't
edit
made it up for
properly
yet.
and how to film it properly, not
You haven't
show.
even-
This is
Yeah.
like
Made
this
it
is
up.
like arguing.
You know what?
Like
You know what's
a
hilarious?
firing squad. Like
You know what's
which one-
hilarious is
which one shot the guy?
yeah, in the scenes where Major Domo is driving his Cadillac,
Oh, we're
they
gonna get
show
to
up
it.
from behind. It
Mhm.
looks like a girl's butt with
Yes,
like
the
a
head. That didn't help either.
it looks like a girl's ass driving the Cadillac.
And could
All
we,
I'm
could
saying,
we,
as
could
bad
we
as
at
the
least
writing
have-
was, as bad as the writing was, if they would have made an exciting chase scene, he was like, you know what? At least that chase scene was kind of cool.
And could we at least have had the Major Domo die horribly in the crash at the end? Because, like,
Instead of
I
back-
think he's the
Yeah,
worst.
I'm so
character.
sick of him.
He's worse than the kids. I'll put him there.
I
he's
actually
worse
like
than the
it because you
kids.
hate him. Like he's supposed to be hated, so I like that.
Yeah, but
And-
you
and
need
he's
to have that
16.
satisfaction. You
They're
need to have
gonna-
that satisfaction.
Well, now
He's
that we know
probably
that
gonna
he's gonna fucking ride a stupid ass Rancor like it's a goddamn camel and then fucking eat the guy, we already know what's gonna happen. That's stupid. Once again, something stupid. This is so
Well,
stupid.
Also, Danny Trejo didn't have a single machete in
Oh
this.
my-
in
yeah,
this
why
show.
was
I know.
Danny Trejo killing motherfuckers? All right, so
Hey,
here you
we're
go.
still in the
So do
first
you
part,
think
by
that
the way.
whole,
We didn't even, we're
the-
talking about the chase scene. We didn't even get to it in your
Once
flashback.
again, the questions. Here comes the questions. Why did he just hit him? By the way, he's got knockout fucking.
He
Apparently,
did hit him.
he could have just hit the
He
shot.
could all he
He
could have
hit
done
him.
is put his shock knuckles into the water and killed him.
But he
He
hit
coulda
him
just
hard
shocked
in the
him.
face. That's the thing. He hit him and he went down.
He could have locked the goddamn back to tank and pulled the plug, and he would have fucking drowned.
Well,
We didn't have to do a lot.
to Pete's point, so this is why both are to blame
We still haven't got
in bad directing and writing. But so
I agree. Both are true.
well, as we go through this thing, when he punches him with those knuckles, why the hell is he uninjured? In the 5 seconds later, he just got punched by a Wookiee in the face with brass knuckles that are electrified.
Electrified breath. Spiked,
He
by
was in
the
the
way.
bandit tank, so he was regenerating. So
No, he wasn't. He was literally
Not
in the
in the
next
back of the
scene,
tank.
not in the
No.
back of the tank.
I know.
We're gonna do it. Is this
He
the
was
one?
still wet. He was slippery.
That's bad directing there on that one. That's
Yeah.
continuity of the movie or show.
All
I
right,
should say.
so then he's
Bad
like-
directing.
And he got body slammed on the floor like 3 times.
Yeah.
WWE isn't that repetitive. Like,
Yeah.
Come on. Show us one hit. Let's show me something different.
The
If
gap
he's just gonna get mud wrestling on the floor like in his soggy underwear. Like, come on.
This is what AEW wrestling's all about, right here.
No, don't even say it. No, it's not even. Don't even put that on here.
This is bad. You're supposed to be protecting them. You're walking in like you got all day long, and then you
don't even
just
get that. They also take turns. Hey, let's circle them and take turns going. With
yeah,
a-
that was dumb too. I couldn't get all that. This was actually all right.
Directing.
They dropped them into here. Now I'll tell you how I would have redone it, and then with her using the thing and hitting him. Fennec Shan's the best in here. Okay, let's stop it real quickly right there so we can talk.
Yeah. But this is where you're getting into my directing argument. Because had they directed a better fight sequence, you also wouldn't be saying anything about the writing.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, it would have taken a back seat. If this fight scene
Yeah.
was awesome, that
Okay.
chase scene was awesome, you could be like, you know what? Some of the dialogue sucked. But man, did you see that fight
I
scene with Black
understand.
Day?
If it was
Well-
just storyboards, if they just used storyboards to explain this, but the DP was saying we got animatronics to know what we're going to shoot before the director even got a hold of how he's going to direct it. So they already gave him the previs to shoot this. They set up the light because of how it works with the new system, because you can't go circle around with a lot of stuff because you'll get back echoing on it. That they have to do the previs, and the previs is now not just one storyboard putting up next to next or a bunch of like, hey, do this, and the director gets more free reign. It literally is on the writer how the writer wants it being seen because they do the previs, which is John. So you could have sped this up at the end.
You can. Yes.
There's lots of
Yeah,
parts-
the
I
writer
agree.
could have prevised whatever the hell he desired to see. You still could have edited it your way to make it an
He's
exciting
also
scene,
the executive
even with the
producer,
same
so, like,
footage.
right. He's also the executive producer. So like when you're doing that, do know it has to
I'm
happen.
just saying you could have done it, and then you could have showed it to him.
Rodriguez
And say, look,
sucks.
you got to tell me this is better
Pete,
than this.
Pete, I'll give you
Slow-ass,
Rodriguez sucks. I'll give you Rodriguez sucks.
nonsensical.
But that ain't the worst problem with this. The writing on this is bad. This fight scene, how it's written, is terrible. It's terrible. It's very easy to fix. You have Black Case.
Well, that's the problem. You don't write a fight scene.
Well,
Writers don't write fight scenes. You let your stunt choreographers plan out your fight scenes.
If there's
The
no
people who know about fighting, you let them do their job. You hire the people
that's
to
not
do
how
the
that
job they
works.
should do.
No.
The writer don't write the fight
That's not how it
scene. Just say fight scene.
Pete, that's not how that works. They literally write down the fights. It's literally part of the script. The fight scene is part. They do write that out.
I know what you're saying. I'm not saying that you are incorrect in saying that. I'm just saying that process is wrong and doesn't work. Is what I'm saying.
I agree with that.
That's not how it should be done.
But
that is not how anybody else does it for a reason.
Real quickly, this is what they should have done. You have one of the Gamorrean guards fly into the back of Take, which pops open the top and wakes up Boba Fett. Start to have a fight. The kids come running in, say, "Don't worry, boss, we got this." After Boba, of course, takes a couple hits. He backs up. They do the circle round, so you still get that. Another Gamorrean guard jumps on him. They fall down the stairs. They do that whole little gimmick there, and you get very violent. One of the kids goes flying in the air, knocked unconscious, knock out another one. Great stuff. Elbow drops coming off the top. We all like that cool stuff. He actually takes something off the wall and tries to cut one of them in half. Then, instead of Fennec Shan putting him into the trap, you have Bobo sitting there with his robe on the thing going, "I got this." And he drops Black K into the trap, and you never let him out of the Rancor pit. He becomes your Rancor. But
Hey,
So I think
that all
the fight scene could have
aside,
been
that's
fixed with
fine.
it's easy to fix. Go ahead. Jack,
I think
go
the
ahead.
fight scene could have been fixed very easily if someone would have just tossed Boba Fett a can of spinach, and it would just take care of itself.
Well, he obviously can't. His pounding of the face wasn't bad. I didn't mind those type of scenes. I thought that was okay. Like the fight scene was okay. It just didn't make sense. Why are people walking around? Why are there no guards there?
Yeah.
Why
There's nobody. There was no, buddy walking into Don Corleone's house in the middle of the night and just, pulling him out of his bed to fight him. Like, it makes no sense. Why is Fennec and Boba the only two who have guns in this criminal empire that Boba now runs?
His primary defense is two half-naked pig guys in an out-of-work biker gang with Vespas.
It's not really fair to call them bikers at this point.
No, you cannot call them bikers. You call them
Scooter gang.
Yeah,
Well,
scooter gang.
the moped mafia.
It's the
Cyberpunk
mods.
77.
it's the frat boys.
By the way, they have good lines. Fennec's lines are actually good. She's the only one who has good lines.
Where the hell is she during this too?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was nobody there, but she's fully dressed and ready to go.
Look, there's a reason behind that, and it's probably going to come out later on.
That she wants him to
You're hoping.
That's all.
Yeah,
Dom
Dom, for your sake, I hope that's true.
It's going to come out later on.
I hope so too.
4 episodes left, man. I love your optimism, but this isn't getting better. It's getting worse. You said it's going to get better. It got way, way worse. So then they do this whole little bit where they have them locked up. We're going to trade you back to the Hutts. The Hutts admit that they ended up sending them out there. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. They get
This was all just cameo. The Hutt's involvement was just cameo.
Well, not
yeah,
even cameo because you didn't know who they were.
Fan service.
Yeah.
It was an okie doke. Yeah.
Yeah, they rolled out. They rolled out, looked tough, and then all of a sudden roll back in to say, "Peace, we're out."
My bad.
I'm out.
We're out.
You can
keep Chrysanthemum. We don't care. We're gone.
I mean, it's and everybody knows the fix with Chrysantha, right? Instead of having him, there he is, jogging, skipping off into the sunset. Yay! Let's do it again. Yay! Actually, them together, but I didn't.
Yeah, they didn't need to show him. It was an awkward run. I'll give you that.
Oh my god, this dumb shit with this is like the nose ring and the eye thing and things like an adult, and we got him on a. Oh my god. Okay, so very simply, why? The one question I have about this. Okay, why you're giving him a Rancor, right? You're giving him a Rancor. I get it. The Rancor, yeah. It used to be a Rancor there. It doesn't make a lot of sense because we don't know whose Rancor it is or why the Hutts just have Rancors running around. But like, if you're gonna ride something, why wouldn't they give him the Mastador or whatever? The thing that he actually references in here. I rode something bigger. How could that have been if you would have saw?
No, I think it was that Brontosaurus he rode in this Christmas special.
Yeah, the Mastador, the thing that's got the symbol on his side that he literally
Mythosaur.
Mythosaur.
The Mythosaurus.
That wasn't a Mythosaur, was it?
Yeah,
That's what the symbol on his thing is.
I know that's what the symbol is, but I didn't think he rode a Mythosaur in the special.
He did. In the special, he rode a Mythosaur. Why the hell they didn't give him a Mythosaur? Please, somebody say it.
Mythosaur.
Thank you. Why the hell they didn't give him that instead of a baby Rancor that's not a baby Rancor, and then they
It's
took
in the name. It's a myth.
they literally took the fucking teeth out of the Rancor and made it the biggest pussy thing I've seen them do so far.
I've got your and Jedi's explanation for why this exists and why this scene exists.
So that they can't get it made by
Nope.
Pulse or what?
Nope. It's so they what?
So Pulse couldn't make one or what?
Yes, exactly. HasLab was like, please, we failed. Put a stupid Rancor and Danny Trejo in there.
Well,
so
they
we can
already
sell a
had
Danny
the truck
Trejo
before
action
they
figure with
failed,
our
but-
next HasLab thing.
Yeah, I mean, but this is the stupidest thing. Like this whole how bad they ruined the Rancor. The Rancor, if they keep doing this, there's going to be no danger in the world of Star Wars. Everything's just going to be a fucking misunderstood puppy dog. It's going to be a fucking.
Well, it didn't make any sense.
A Karen's little dog purse pet. That's what everything's going to be. It's going to be like some Karen can carry all these little things around in their fucking purse and have them in fucking, like, I don't know, airplanes and like food stores and shit snotting everywhere.
Well, they're going to open a Rancor petting zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even if they do, why the hell was Danny Trejo so cool with this? He shows up with this Rancor, like, all right, I can't wait to start training this guy. And then Boba's like, I want to ride it. What?
Mm-hmm.
I want to ride it. I was going to train it to be a fighter and let it imprint me. I want to ride it. All right, cool. Come stand in front of it so you can
Danny
ride it.
Trejo seemed really sus.
I'll
in
teach
that
you
scene.
how. How does he know how to ride it? He wanted to train it to
Literally,
fight.
you literally have two of the best killing machines in the world.
Machete.
In the worlds. you got Machete and the fucking Rancor, and you know what you did? You turned them into a bunch of cats.
I want to ride it because that's a long walk into town from Jabba's palace.
So,
for the most
Now this is where
Jedi. It's
this
a
is where
long
you
walk.
want to. I don't want to bring the writing directing thing back up, but this is where it flips back to writing for me. I agree with what Pete was saying earlier. Now it flips back to
This was
writing.
written
This
like
thing.
shit.
This was terrible dialogue and writing in this thing.
He pet him under the fucking eye. By the way,
He likes it.
I saw Tario first when you actually, that's the actual directory part. That's fucking even wrong with this terrible thing. When he takes the top off, the eyes open up and see Tario first. And then they go back and.
It's not Danny Terrio. It's Danny Trejo.
Whatever.
Completely different guys.
Machete, motherfucker.
Call him Machete.
The two guys.
Machete.
Call him Danny.
Either way, Machete
Danny Terrio is a completely different Danny.
guy that used to be a fucking gangster and then became an actor. That guy, who's Machete. That you had
That's
these
Trejo.
Weren't the Rancor's eyes still focusing until Trejo got out of eyesight?
Yeah.
Right, Dom?
Who
No,
knows?
he imprinted on
He's been wearing
Boba.
blinders for God knows how long.
Yeah, he's been wearing blinders all
They
the
had
time.
him print on him, yes, but they said that he didn't open his eyes. They closed his eyes back down, and then he did that. That's a directorial thing too. That was stupid. That fucking revision fucking shit. The whole thing was stupid. This is stupid. I hope that the Rancor actually eats Boba Fett at this point.
Maybe that's why the Hutts gave it away because they couldn't decide. Wait, it imprints on one person, but there's two of us. How we? All right, this is too much of a.
Which also
complication.
why if it didn't print on Boba Fett, it didn't turn on Machete and eat Machete. Is
Exactly. How is Machete going to feel safe training this thing?
I
When it's
actually
not
thought-
imprinted on him.
Because they
Like, if
said
that
it
was-
only they're very docile unless they feel threatened. They covered that.
But Danny Trejo's pretty.
He was
thorough.
going to train it to be a fighter. He
So
was
they
planning
wanted
on treating
the
this
guy-
thing
the
like
original
crap.
movie.
Trained to attack.
Wait,
to
why are
attack.
you mad about this? You are like the king of like, oh, they really screwed up stuff from the original three. The original three is the best ever. Like they took something that was the best ever out of the original three, and they literally made it a fucking a plushie. Like that's what they did with it.
Well, I'm trying to just look at both sides. I'm trying to present argument for both sides. No, I didn't like this. I'll be honest. The Rancor is the least thing I didn't like about this show, and we'll get into more of that upcoming, I think. But I mean, even in Return of the Jedi, the Rancor didn't turn on its own two masters or whatever I don't even remember their name. The caveman looking dudes that were in the
Well,
pit
it was
with it.
already.
It
kinda
walked
dead.
right by them. It knew where to go to attack
It was
Luke,
kind of,
right?
yeah, it was kind of like eating everything in sight, excluding the
Yeah.
doing the game. It's
Hey, that's the other thing. Did that Gamorrean guard threaten him when he got flushed down the thing?
no, he didn't
He was
threaten him at
making a
all.
lot
He
of
didn't
noise.
threaten him at all. So if they only
The
attack when they
dance
feel threatened.
screamed and Ula screamed and ran away, and the thing ate
Well,
him.
because it was trained to be a fighter. It was trained to be a killer. It's
Yeah, the Rancor should have killed Danny. 100% so. That would have been. I would have accepted.
I
that.
thought it was going to happen like a James Gunn moment or something. The Rancor just eats him. Move along.
Maybe this
Yeah.
Rancor is like that. Damn, what's that TV? What's that kid story about the bull under the tree smelling the flowers? Maybe that's what we got.
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand. Thank you.
Part number. Part number 3. Oh, good Lord.
Boy, this show. Here we go.
It was a rough one.
Part number 3. This is then he decides that he's going to go down and.
This guy's
Look
face.
at Ron Jeremy too, by the way.
Yeah, we got the bikers just in all their candy coats, and this guy.
Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, look at that stash.
There's of course nobody inside. Then they ran out back. By the way, just to take it back real quickly, these kids who are now his gang, right? His biker gang, see the guy go by them, still are joking like this. See the guy take off, know why they're there. Don't let anybody out. The guy gets out, takes off, and they're just like, yeah,
they're millennials.
They could have at least done their Power Ranger dance while they were watching him go by.
Yeah, can we call them a gang? There's 4 of them.
Call them a gang.
We can call them teenagers with attitude.
Get-along gang than this crew.
Millennials.
Oh my God.
Teenagers with attitude.
It was probably the worst emo crap I've seen. Oh, that was the Rancor was emo too. They've just emoed everything in this. Other than this,
Why do you know what emo is?
What?
I don't think you understand what emo is.
The little kids that are always depressed. They said that about
So how bright?
I get that, but those guys aren't emo. But
not the.
So you know how bright and clean their scooters were, right? Do you think maybe some of the ridiculousness of that could have been taken out with the writing, where if Boba would have just made a joke when he first saw them, like, "What are you doing with all this water? Are you just washing your speeder bikes constantly?"
That could have been funny. That would have been
No, they just had Flex Seal. They just sprayed Flex Seal all over their shit. So it's dirt and grime.
Actually, and they rude this too, like because they did the Back to the Future moment with it. But this was actual McQuarrie art, which is kind of cool.
And they took Luke out.
no, they edited Luke out.
Yeah, they edited Luke out. Still kind of cool. I thought that was kind of cool. The chase scene sucks. I think everybody knows that.
Was the guy who crashed into that your draft pick, Marco?
Maybe. Well, I didn't draft. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
because
think he was your
Red
draft pick.
was on the other side. You had the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah, actually, he was probably one of the better ones. Except for the last time they gave him. No, I'll tell you why in a minute. Oh, and
So
then
you like Cable better than Cyborg?
we finally saw Boba Fett fly for the first time, which it's good to know that his jetpack works eventually. After they chase him down, which he could have probably done, and then we get the crash in and the. I wish this part was available for me to see.
Can I say one thing? I get that they use droid parts, but giving her a droid arm was really weird. Distracting.
How did you have the human hand on the end of the droid arm?
It
How does that
right
work?
at all?
The other part that was kind of interesting was like the draft pick that I chose and the other kid literally knocked out the engines on the side of the speeder, like because he
crashed into a painting and lost it and face planted.
Mm-hmm.
How do you say it's the best one?
They took out the not because of this, because of the next. I thought this next scene actually was. I thought this part right here was really good. I thought actually this is probably the best part of the except for the last comment. The last line ruined it, but when they blew out the engines with whatever drill mod he had, where his foot was go gadgeting into the back, and the other guy was like shooting it out. Yet somehow the speeder still went on for another 3-minute walk or whatever. I did think that the spikes coming into town was actually kind of a cool scene. Now it's a lot of like the Last Man Standing, like the Bruce Willis movie there. Looking in the mirrors. I thought the pikes look badass. They're letting like 10 and 20 of them come off the.
Hey, do you think we're going to see any of the pikes with the big headdresses like we'd see in the cartoons, or you think that's going to be a wardrobe restriction to wear kind of like?
Yeah. I think you might be right on the ward just because there's so many of them coming out now at this point.
Yeah,
so the games are coming to it. This is okay too that he was doing the spy thing. I thought that was kind of cool and that he talked to him. But then they did the worst line of the fucking movie. Let me write it down so I get it right. Keep an eye on them. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
And he goes, "Oh, I paid a lot for this. It's okay."
Is there a writer's strike going on right now that we don't know about?
Is it going to get better, Dom? Because if it doesn't get better, I don't know what to say about that. I really don't. Steve, could you give us some insight on this episode, please?
You want some insight?
Sure.
Well, okay. So I know this episode and maybe this series has brought us our share of disappointments, but it'll always be remembered for one thing. And let me just throw out 3 names for you: Bryan Cranston, Bob Odenkirk, Dame Judi Dench. Right? Did you know all these people? They worked as character actors for years and sometimes decades before they got their big break and became legit stars. Well, Book of Boba Fett's going to be remembered for bringing Galen Howard into the limelight, right? Now, you might be wondering who's Galen Howard and why I'm not referring to him by his character's name. Well, it's complicated. He doesn't have a name yet. He's the dude rocking the timeless stash, the pillbox hat from the 70s Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Kenny Powers mullet.
Ron Jeremy.
Right there. Yeah. I mean, we've seen him for 2 episodes straight. And listen to his iconic line in episode 2. Do you have an appointment? No one in Star Wars has oozed such carefree, cool, and facial hair flair since Lando.
He kind of reminds me more. He reminds me of Daryl and his other brother Daryl from the Newhart show.
Yeah, he's got that 70s, 80s thing, going on.
Parker, which one are you going for? Which one of these layouts?
The guy on the left. I hate the guy on the right. I don't want to see that guy on the right. He should have died in flames in the crash. But anyway, I'm going to call. So we don't have a name for the character yet, but I'm going to name him Ken Clerk. Because and with Star Wars, you have to put an apostrophe. It's like CL apostrophe RK, right? Right. And and Ken, because he's got that Kenny Power hair, Kenny Powers.
Yeah, Kenny
Powers. But and so what we need is like The Office, like an office workplace comedy that focuses on his life as a temp in the Star Wars universe, where he hops from one gig to another. Like in one episode, he could be working in the Hut Twins handheld fan supply department. In another, he's a stagehand for the Max Rebo band. He's like trying to tune the organ with his feet and trading barbs with the sassy drum playing droid, right? So what I want everyone to do, everyone watching and everyone on the panel, hashtag Galen Howard. We got to get it trending so we can see less Power Rangers and more of this average white dude.
Change.org petition.
Yes.
Let's get Galen Howard his own Boba Fett spinoff.
Brilliant, Steve. Thank you for that insight.
He's a talent.
He's a treasure. That's what he is.
Yes, treasure.
All right. I just
see. There's upside. You just have to look for it.
There's opportunity. There still is opportunity amongst these characters to do right by this universe.
Right.
He's the new ice cream guy from Empire Strikes Back. Just like
I hope so.
What was the worst part of this? Because there wasn't a good part. So what was the worst part?
It was only 37 minutes long.
That's a tough one. I would say
the mods.
Pretty tall order,
For me, it's easy. The mods.
Go ahead, Sam.
The mods. Oh, I would say that the fight scene with Black K, followed by Black K just waltzing off into the desert. That had to be the worst.
He kind of skipped a little bit.
He did skip.
It was a little bit of a hint of a frolic.
Why?
I feel like all they did was it was like caught in a loop, right? Because he starts by throwing Boba onto the floor, and then he picks him up and he throws him into the rack of weapons, and then it cycles back to him throwing him on the floor again, and it's just the same footage, just getting looped. It's like, oh my gosh, we can't get out of it. Yeah,
I don't.
And then
does anybody understand why they did that with Black K? Like they're gonna bring him back, right? Like why would you?
No, doesn't make any sense.
No.
I understand he's not an assassin, but at the same time,
I go leave all your guns and go. But like it was so stupid.
Why would that? Why should? So one of my worst parts was
go ahead.
the huts. Just hey, we're leaving.
Yeah, they could have done that in an email, you know?
Like-
they could have just sent an email.
Here's my biggest problem with it was what did we get last episode? The only moments in the present we got of any importance. What did we get last episode? The Hutts. That was it. It was Hutts and Black K.
Mhm.
And then cut to one episode later. The Hutts are
It's
leaving
like-
and don't
it's
exist,
like
and
your
Chrysanthemum
slides.
skips into the desert. It
It's
made
like your
everything
slides about the Knights of Ren. It's like, hey, this slide, guess what? We're getting Knights of Ren. Next slide. No, it's
Yep.
fake. This slide, this episode, we're getting Hutts. Next episode, now we're out.
Huts are out.
and negated everything from last episode that took place in the present, at least.
And that's the one thing. That's the one thing that I will say. They could have not directorial. He could have shot that where you just Black K was there. He turned off screen, walked. I mean, shit. You killed a whole bunch of fucking raiders off screen. You could have just let him.
There was no reason to show that widescreen shot of him running or whatever, jogging, leaping, lunging, whatever the fuck.
Why would he even run? Like, was he in a huge hurry to make a giant, as a furry animal, to make a giant trek across the desert?
Yeah,
Well, he was probably it was probably just the actor's decision. You know what? I'm gonna run off because I need to get out of this goddamn costume because it's
He
we're in
needed a
the
ride, man. He needed
Well,
a ride.
clearly there was no director this episode, so yeah, he just had to. The actor had to decide.
Yeah,
What am I
Well,
gonna
hang
do?
on.
Yeah.
Hang
didn't
on.
know he was
Robert
getting filmed?
Rodriguez. Robert Rodriguez is responsible for such movie masterpieces as Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah.
So let's not forget his roots. Skipping into the desert is right in his wheelhouse.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, I understood that they did that too, where they called him K or whatever. I get it. Whatever. That's still.
I
his
don't know.
name.
I
Yeah,
thought that,
yeah,
I
I
thought
have
the
no problem with
chase, the Major Domo chase, was just the worst. With I mean, you put the 5 worst characters together. Those 4 kids and the one Major Domo. I'll put them together in like this, multi-minutes long scene. We didn't need to see the Major Domo's goofy facial expressions, like, oh, they're chasing me. I mean, it was terrible.
We
It was
need to
awful.
see it just for a second. We just needed to see it for a second. That's all.
Pedal
I don't-
faster. Pedal your bikes faster.
Dwayne and Venom. I actually don't think you're right at this point. I think this is actually bad writing and directing both. I think that he's making those references and they think it's coming off as like, oh, he knows them. Like as in like, hey, buddy, as one bounty hunter to another one. You know what I mean?
That's not what he said, though.
I know that's not. I know, but I think that's how they think it. I think that's their. I'm telling you, they both suck.
I think it's that somebody told him. Somebody told Favreau or whoever was writing, because he wrote last episode too. Like, this is Black Chrysanthemum. Like, he was a gladiator, blah 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 blah. Now he's a bounty hunter, blah blah blah. But I don't think he ever told him that those two knew each other. Like, Favreau doesn't read the comics. Like,
I don't think John
Filoni and
watched
Favreau
Star
don't
Wars
read
every
Star
report
Wars
either.
comics.
To be honest with you, I never have, and this kind of shows it. So it's
I kind
bad.
of would like to see Lobot again.
And I don't want to hear that lame Dom. No offense to your I like a lot of stuff you said. Like I appreciate it and I'll be respectful of it. But that lame thing about the mods and like, oh, when Lucas did 1, 2, no. When Lucas did 1, 2, and 3, he tried to add a lot of CGI at the time to get his studio out there. Okay, that's different than going like, we're going to give him a nod by doing a movie that has absolutely nothing to fucking do and set in the 1960s.
But they didn't give him a nod. That's the thing. Mods are in the 60s.
Yeah, well, they did to
Lucas came out of the 60s with
no,
the hot
they
rods
did.
and stuff. That's
Because the
completely
Mods
different decade.
movie to the 60s is from the movie he did before Star Wars.
No, American Graffiti is the 50s.
Graffiti.
50s hot rods are completely
All right,
different than the 60s
Yeah, fair
mod
enough, fair
UK
enough, fair
movement. It's
Either way.
completely different.
I know, but I think that's what they were going for was that hot rod 50s coloring scheme, wasn't it?
But they didn't. They went to the 60s.
I
In the
understand.
UK?
It still sucks. That's what I'm
I know
saying.
I'm just telling you, like they
I'm
picked
just
a
saying, like that's.
different country.
But that's why I'm saying it's different than what he did in 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 was a complete CGI fuck off so that he could sell the studio.
You gotta look at it this way. Maybe the cyber kids weren't from Tatooine. They're from someplace else and things are bright. But
So you
George
think they
Lucas
moved
said-
there and just didn't like what they
They were
saw?
running away
You
from
don't know what
Rita
happened.
Repulsa.
They're running away from Rita Repulsa. He says.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I get it. And this is what I'm going to say now because everybody here said it. So now I'm finally going to say it. I sure hope it's going to get better because this was shit.
I am hopeful too because it's a different director.
Shit. It really did ruin my day, man.
Different
I mean, I
story,
had
might
other
be
things
different
to go
story.
on that day, but like when something
You make it
shit,
sound like it ruined your life and like
not even ruin my life. It just
No,
look,
it was great
Wow.
for like a Sunday afternoon nap, just like a lead into that nap. Perfect.
so
Get yourself a nice warm cup of tea. Put
Man,
on
tell
Book
me,
of Fett
I know.
episode 3.
I kind of think that the people
You're-
of Star Wars does this on purpose. They want the device of the episodes and have people fighting over it. What's good, what's bad, because it's good for business.
No, Mandalorian was good for business.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, you see, Mandalorian was good for business, but that's the reason. You're going to take and do a Boba Fett show after you bring out Mandalorian. Everything the Mandalorian is, Boba Fett should have been, and then
Well,
some.
you can say that now, but the
that-
it's not good for business
yeah.
to have.
No,
arguments.
you better be careful with this because you know who one of those directors is. I'm not going to knock her, but yo. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
were you don't like Ron Howard's daughter?
I'm not saying nothing, bro.
I will say this.
I think
Going-
she's all right
She
with that.
has
episode
three.
with-
She has 3 men's names.
I will say this that
Which also sucks. Okay.
after
Go ahead.
after looking at like we talked so much about writing and directing, I kind of went back and I even watched some of it and played it back in my head, the first 3 episodes.
Mhm.
I think the director for the second episode as a director did a phenomenal job because the writing is very similar. The problems I have with the second episode, like nose lizards and weird crap like that, that's a writing thing for the most part. But the action and like the train scene and everything else was way better than this Vespa
makes you
chase.
forget the crappy writing, which is fine. That's Star Wars. Most of the
Mhm.
writing in Star Wars is pretty crappy. But when you have
the first
great
3
acting,
movies or the
makes you
episodes 1,
forget.
2, and 3, yeah.
It's also a proven fact that any show with a train is 20% better than without it.
I know. I'm
That's
just
proof.
saying. All of the complaints about the writing could have been fixed if the chase scene was directed better, if the Black Chrysanthemum fight scene was directed and edited better. I know animatronics, pre-screens, all of that. I'm just saying, if it was done better, we wouldn't be talking about it because we would be focused on, man, did you see that scene when they were fighting in the palace? That was awesome. Or that scene where they were racing through the streets. Or even if they decided to show, I mean, maybe you don't want to show the Tusken.
Let me
Kid
ask you a
water,
quick
but
question.
You don't want to spend 2 episodes getting to know a group of people and then have them all killed off screen. That's just
Off
lazy.
screen.
That's just lazy.
Let me.
It's disrespectful, is
Marco,
what
you
it
muted,
is.
I think, because we can't hear you.
Oh, so real quickly, Don, before you go, that's what I'm saying. Like, there was 2 or 3 parts which I thought were pretty good. And to Venom's point, it is that bad because if you watch these reviews, you know I'm usually pretty positive to neutral on these. I only go after them when they are what I feel is egregious, and this is egregious. But the last scene too, besides the eye thing, I really liked that last 5 minutes also. So there are parts that I was like, wow, that was really good. And the fight scene just needed to be adjusted a little bit. It was decent. With that being said, it still was a turd sack on fire in the
I
microwave.
request the floor.
Let Sam go.
I request the floor.
Okay, stop.
Mark,
You,
or
what's up, Tom?
Venom says wrestling is worse than this episode. I once saw an amateur wrestling match where the Bayside Besties took on a double team, and the one that looked like Zach Morris timed out right at the climax of the match, and everybody froze. It was amazing. It was as close to being in a real life cartoon as anyone will ever get.
He did a timeout.
He did a timeout, and everybody froze.
Hold on. He did a
It was incredible.
timeout in the middle of a wrestling match.
It's all.
It was incredible. Not just in the middle, at the climax of the final act of that match. It was incredible.
That is fantastic.
This show doesn't even come close. Doesn't even come close to that wrestling.
Venom, absolutely not. Like, and wrestling and professional wrestling is what it's supposed to be. And they give you, well, they used to, not anymore, but they used to give you what you deserved. This did not. Boba Fett is old. He can't do anything. He chooses not to blow anybody up or kill anybody. He doesn't even harm people. And then he like makes out with a Rancor. Like, yo, bro, no.
I think you're being a little overly
Right.
harsh
I mean,
now.
they really shouldn't have done this at all. I mean, this whole
Yes, I agree.
series, because before this, It was better to leave him as a mysterious, almost
Wait.
nearly
You're only-
silent figure, right?
Right,
I mean,
I
You're only
agree.
making that
who
argument.
wants to know about the man behind the
Agree.
mask?
No,
I
you
mean,
two are only making that argument now because you know this was bad. That's not a good
No,
point to
no.
argue from.
No.
AJ, my argument of all time is don't touch the original 3 character. In the original 3, don't touch the characters.
But you had no problem with him touching the character when you thought the show was good.
I still had a problem with it. That's not
No,
true.
you didn't.
I did say don't touch it. I've always said don't touch it, and then I said don't wish for more. It's going to get worse because they're going to mess with them, and they did. And look at what we've gotten.
It's not like they mess. Look, he's transforming into something different.
Dom, don't say they didn't mess with him. They took away your favorite character.
Look, tell me about it.
I don't want him to cry.
That's what I'm saying. They took your favorite character and turned him into something. You're hoping turns back.
Look, every character has to have a evolution of a character to turn to something different. Look, he was the child. He was the warrior. He was the bounty hunter. He's becoming now the leader. There's a purpose between everything. Yes. Am I upset that he's not kicked?
Oh, did we lose him?
Oh, Dom, you froze.
Well, counterpoint at this point. They say he's the leader of a family, right? Boba Fett's the leader of a family. Who is the family?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He's not in charge of anybody.
The tribes of Tatooine.
No, he's not in charge of anybody. Fennec Shand does her own deal.
All right.
The Gamorrean guards do their own deal.
No.
All right.
Listen,
That was a Zach Morris freeze.
Yeah, time out.
Look, my thing is that he was. If you watch The Mandalorian, the way he kicked the stormtroopers' asses and he was barbaric and he did his thing. Look, the way he did that, there is something more to him that's happening, and he's growing as a character. Yes, the mystique, the mysterious of the way he is gone because his helmet's on, helmet's off, whatever. But come on, they're giving him depth, and they make.
Does he have to do his own stunts?
No.
Can we have someone else do the stunts?
Put on
the helmet and let somebody else do the stunts.
I ask this around the horn, so I really want an answer out of everybody. Does anybody care that he takes his helmet on or off?
No.
Is that
I don't care.
Yes.
No.
Cam does?
Yes.
Steve does?
You can't act with the helmet on.
You know exactly what he looks like. I don't understand why it matters.
Wait, hold on. Is Jedi frozen? He's eating dinner,
No,
isn't
he's
he?
good. No.
Yeah.
Do you care that he takes the helmet on or off?
He's like, I've sat here for half an hour.
I don't care that I don't care that he takes his helmet on or off. I will admit I don't think Morrison is a great actor necessarily, and when he has his helmet on, it kind of helps his acting.
Hello.
Let me just do an in-story reason why he.
But we're talking about
helmet.
Boba Fett. I'm not asking about Morrison. I'm asking, the character of Boba Fett?
Yeah,
do you mind?
He should keep his helmet on, especially when he's outside. He had assassins make an attempt on his life, and he's taking his helmet off like
he had money in his helmet at the time.
Like he's got no problems in the world.
Was he had a
nobody's trying to take his head. Just take my helmet off outside. It's fine.
Venom and Dom.
It's because Grief Karga, whatever the Jennifer Beals character's name is that's on my team. She's the big bad behind this whole thing.
I agree that as a person you can grow. But if somebody's trying to kill you and you're known as being like that, you can disintegrate people, a badass, what you don't do is get your ass kicked all the time. You don't.
Yeah. Well, there lies the question, because Dom brought this up when he brought up Mandalorian. What in the shit changed from Mandalorian till now? I get the flashbacks. Oh, he saw the Tuskens and the Tusken way of life. I can see that changing a person, but he was still a ruthless killer just last season of Mandalorian. And all of a sudden now he's, well, let's hear what these street kids have to say.
Yeah. These street punks are rude, but they've got spirit.
Yeah.
They got spunk. I like it.
What do you think, Fennec? Huh?
Also, one thing before my battery dies on this phone and I have to change things. But you go back to don't touch the original trilogy version of Boba Fett. they've touched the original trilogy version of Boba Fett since the prequel trilogy. When he was a kid, you knew his sense of honor and code and everything during Clone Wars. He's been evolving as a character this whole time. So I think people have tuned out all that and expect him to go back to no disintegrations of Boba Fett, are just not seeing the forest for the trees, so to speak. But,
In Clone Wars, though, he was still on the path to be no. You have to get him to the path of no disintegration, and then what you can't do is erase that. They didn't just. When I say don't touch, I mean like don't put your personal opinion on what Boba Fett's growth should be.
They didn't have him on that path. They had him on a different path. They had him on the honor code path where
he was never a ruthless killer.
He goes against the more ruthless bounty hunter Cad Bane to kind of free the people. So to speak.
I understand. No, I understand that, but it was always about Bobo first. It was always about Bobo feeling undersized and doing something. Bobo. Now. But it's always about Boba. Like at a point, it was even in Clone Wars where he was getting trained to be this ultimate bounty hunter. That was Clone Wars. Remember,
but he still had a code.
Yeah, fine. He had a code.
Talking about his ability as a bounty hunter.
His walking around fucking Tatooine at this point, which isn't a city, by the way. It's a goddamn planet. So I don't know who said that, but Tatooine, not a fat ass walking around Tatooine going, "Oh hey." No. I just want to make everybody happy. That's not part of a normal story arc. That is
I agree.
Not.
They should have named the show Old Man Fett.
What you're doing is you're taking something that had 5 minutes of airtime in a 3-part trilogy movie, and you're saying we know everything about this guy. You knew jack about Boba Fett, and they went and they made Boba Fett characters throughout the rest of the thing.
See, you're generalizing again. That's not what I'm doing. I'm taking Clone Wars in the comics and showing what they did in those two things with the movie and going, hey, how does he go from being raised to be the best bounty hunter there is and actually called the greatest bounty hunter of all time? I'll get you to 1 second, Sam. Being taught how to the disintegration thing, add that in. Being like, oh, I want to avenge my dad and kill Mace Windu. And by the way, Morrison at least knows that because in an interview, he's like, yeah, I try to talk John to let's go kill Mace Windu or at least do a second season because he knows what this character has become and turn that character into, man, you guys steal some water. You guys want to hang out on your bikes? You guys want to chill?
Right. And that what is it, that gaffy stick he has or whatever? What is it? Yeah, I think that's just one of those reacher things so he can reach things higher up on the shelf,
Scratches back with the one end and pokes.
You're missing my point. You're getting things mixed up. The part where we saw him become ruthless, that was all legends now. Tell me the part in canon. Tell me the part in canon where you saw Boba Fett be super ruthless.
I didn't say super ruthless. I said they tried to. He was trying to be the best bounty hunter. There's a whole arc on how he was trained by the best bounty hunter.
I've seen the arc.
And then in comics, they call him ruthless, and that's in canon, and the best bounty hunter. And he actually almost blows up Luke Skywalker in fucking Ben's
life. He didn't.
We all mellow in old age. I mean, maybe that's the theme of it, is that, we all mellow. He was full of piss and vinegar,
I guess weed's legal on fucking Tatooine too, because he's eating a lot of edibles.
Maybe it's in the air.
Is anyone else bothered by Boba's total lack of business sense? I mean, the water guy comes to him and says, I'll pay you double tribute. And instead, Boba ends up paying him 500 coins.
Like a quarter.
And he takes the teenagers with attitude on his team. Like now he's babysitting these kids.
Yeah. Now he's adding payroll. And he's not
looking at a bigger picture. There's a bigger picture.
What bigger picture?
That's what nobody's really seeing. The bigger picture is coming. Remember, he's going to be at the table with all the heads of the.
What's he paying the kids though? Come on, Sonny boy, come on, let me
off of that chip that Boba has on his entire payroll right now.
For all 50 of you, we still will have trivia and a giveaway in a little bit. I'm going to get to one more point. I think, Astro.
Thank you.
I have good insurance, bro. Astro, thank you for the $9.99. I really do have great insurance, though. I do appreciate it. I think the whole crew appreciates it. What we appreciate more is all 50 of you who've been in chat with us and give us stuff. We appreciate Steve Horn, his breakdown, Sam, every week, too. We hope you two come back for this. We're going to keep going for a little bit. And then after that, I got something else to talk about, and then we'll go into trivia. Just so you guys know in the chat, stick around. We will be giving Jedi is going to be giving away something. Okay,
We got fantasy too. Don't forget.
Yeah, we still gotta do
shit,
a fantasy update.
fantasy. Oh my god! All right, can we go around the horn? Last thing now, let's do a Dom around the horn. Besides Dom, because Dom can tell us what his favorite moment is, but please go around the horn and try to pick some piece of dung shit or boo-boo fodder or whatever the hell they're using for swear words.
Well,
out of this.
what if the people who hate it tell something good and Dom tells something bad?
Yeah, all right, there you go. That sounds good. Okay, go ahead, Sam. Give us something good.
I thought Fennec really showed that she's really the star of the show. I thought she did a great job kicking ass. She looked good in everything that she was in, and she didn't have any stupid lines. I thought she was really good.
Steve. Oh, you like that one guy with the mustache.
He's my jam.
Yeah, nice. Jedi, what do you got? Anything?
Well, I was happy when the Rancor rolled up, and we got the initial introduction to the Rancor, and that's it. It kind of went sour shortly after. But for that moment, I was happy.
The last two words that you just used, we'll say you like the beginning intro to the Rancor. Okay, good
I
stuff.
was thinking he was going to say the Pikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you
they haven't showed the. I want to see the Pikes with the big headdresses. Those are my favorites, but sooner or later, hopefully, we'll get there.
Get your gack. Oh, Jesus. Get your gack. Oh, come on. All right, JJ.
I'll say the Pikes. I like the Pikes, and the fact that the Pikes are going to be the villains, even though it comes at the cost of what I hated the most, which was the Hutt's weird departure thing.
You think they're gone?
In the concept, I really was, prior to seeing it in this episode, I was really for like the street kid gang or whatever joining up with both. That sounded like a great idea in concept. They totally, absolutely botched the execution of it. But in concept, that sounds like a good concept. So, but we'll probably never see that now because they screwed it up royally.
Yeah. Pete, go ahead.
Phil Lamar.
Yes, that's true.
I like Phil Lamar flashback Pike scene when they were talking in the tent or whatever you want to call that little room that they were in. That was a great scene. He's like, well, we don't want to be paying double protection. It just doesn't make sense. Like, that was a great scene, and it was just...
Wasn't he also the mayor?
No, the mayor,
voice,
I think,
but...
was
the mayor was
Rodriguez.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So JJ tried to give us a positive, gave us a negative too at the back end of it. Jedi did the same thing. I'll say this.
Backhanded compliment.
I'll say this: the two things that I really enjoyed with it is Ben mentioned already. Fennec Shan, I think, is the only savior. Well, that and one other part, the Pikes. They're doing the Pikes right, and they're making them really cool. And guess what else they're making them? Badasses, which is, I'm going to stop because that's the two positive things. They're doing a great job on those two things right there. So
the Hutt's leaving gave them street cred. Like the Hutt's going, no, we don't want to mess with these guys. Gave them cred.
I forgot my real favorite. My real favorite part of this episode was me predicting two things correctly for once.
Oh, stop.
That Boba would not kill anyone and give me absolutely no points.
Give you 0 points.
The opening breakdown scene too was good. Like Marco, you mentioned it. Like when the droid was saying, "Hey, we're going to lay it out so people understand. Cool. These are the three families. The Trandoshans own downtown here, city center, like blah 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 blah." Like that was a good scene, laying things out so things made sense. That was a good scene.
I thought that. Yeah, I think those parts were really great, and hopefully they. Hopefully it gets.
Let me ask something. You really thought Fennec was good? Like all she did was open a trapdoor. Like I don't.
She also threw that knife into Black Hay's hand.
Yeah, she did that.
She threw the knife into his hand.
Like, gnawing in that turkey leg or whatever that was.
There was sitting her legs up. Come on.
The thing was good.
All of her advice is solid gold.
Yeah, all the stuff you should see. Like
exactly,
he doesn't listen. Like she's what she's supposed to be. She's what she is supposed to be. So, no, I do. I really. Now let me ask you this, guys, too. Who do we think we're seeing back? Do we think we're seeing the Hutts back? Yes or no?
Oh yeah,
no.
Yes.
Nah.
No.
I don't.
I have no hope for this
season. No, I don't think so.
What do you do with the Pikes if you have them back, though?
Well, I mean, I think they have a deal. I think there's a kind of a foreshadowing where he says, Boba says, I don't trust the Hutts because why wouldn't you want your two enemies to fight each other?
No, they're not back, dude.
He just doesn't trust the Hutts, period. But, I mean, if they're afraid of the Pikes and the Pikes are there to take over the
They
territory,
didn't
why
look
would
too
the Pikes?
afraid. They looked
Why
like
would
they
the
were
Pikes
doing
want to
okay.
give the Hutts are in trouble because there's not that many Hutts and they're basically stuck on Hutta. What benefit do the Pikes have in giving that territory back to the Hutts at all?
Two things. The Hutt said two things. The Hutts said one thing, and the other thing was said by Boa. The Hutt said, war's too expensive for us. We don't want to get involved. Okay.
Right.
And the other thing so if you have two factions war each other, it doesn't cost them anything.
Exactly.
I get
If
that.
they come back, it's at the end. Like that's
Right,
it.
and they'll be back at the end to maybe mop up a mess or something, but
That's what I'm saying at the end. So if they
that
come
would
back at
involve
the end.
both factions actually dying off before the end of the
Russians.
series.
Yeah.
I saw it. I see it.
or something happen where Boba leaves. Yeah, but I get that. Number two, do you think Black K is coming back?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
That is a coin toss. I'll say yes. I think he's going to be back at the end. I think he's
Yeah,
going to
I think
form
we
an
got an episode.
alliance of sorts with Boba.
I think there needs to be a montage of him skipping through the desert to It's a Beautiful Day or something like that.
It's what the U2 one?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
To be fair, we don't know.
I was
Unlike
gonna
the-
start singing it, and then I was like, nope, I'm not gonna. sing
Unlike
that.
the Hutts who said they're leaving, we don't know that he actually
More
leaves.
Russians.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
He
we
could
don't
be
know
back.
that. More Russians. Yeah, back-to-back Russians. Get them. They're taking over our chat at this point. All right. Last little bit about it, just to clarify some stuff. Once again, we're not trying to crap on anybody because some of these people are our friends, so we're really not. But we just want to address this. It's something that's been going on in the internet that people have been asking. This droid right here is a R5 PHT. A lot of people have mistaken it. They say because it's darker and silver, which it's not actually darker or silver.
This is black. It's a black droid, so it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's gotta be. It's Afros.
So they think that it's the BT1 because of this cover where you see the droid on the front, which is still that's an R5 model. Not I don't know why am I talking about droids, but this is an R5 model. Not a,
Too detailed in it.
yeah, not a BT1 anyways. And that's not actually what the BT1 droid looks like. The BT1 droid, I can't see any of these things because it keeps flipping. So
Go ahead. You're still on Afro 3.
Oh, am I?
Now
Okay.
you're on the
Yeah, so as
bad
you'll notice,
motivator.
BT1s, which is the same on Afro 3, or the R5s on Afro 3 doesn't have the little monocle here that actually projects, which it does in the PHT version of it, the further along version of it. And then to see the inside of Afro, are we looking at the inside of Afro by now?
No, we're still on bad motivator. Now we got mod biker kids.
Where did we lose it? We didn't add it. Oh, there it is. There we go. So if you look at BT1 right here, you can tell it's kind of more like, so one, it says that it's a blast mech instead of a astromech, which both versions of the R5 is. Number two, it's got its monocle in the middle. It doesn't actually project out of it. Number three is part of the targeting initiative and was specifically built for this purpose. It's not just his head code. So just so you know that's not really a nod to the only nod I guess we kind of see, which even though it was a Boba Fett nod, was a nod to Afra is Black K. Just to clarify that's not a death droid. We didn't see a death droid, unfortunately, because that would be kind of cool if we got BT1 or if we got 000. Either way, and by the way, they show a lot of these R5s out there. So that's your PSA. Those two R5s already showed up. They actually show R5s all the time in this Book of Fett. It's like the third or fourth one. They're common in Tatooine. Okay, good. We could clear that up. Yeah, I know. I was hoping to. I know. I get you. I was hoping that we could see some murder droids, but we didn't quite get it. All right, so where's Pete? Oh, Pete took off just as we were going to do what do we got? Fantasy?
Fantasy? Yeah,
Let's
fantasy's
switch
next,
it.
right?
Is this fantasy? I don't know if I can switch through it.
I have no idea.
All right, perfect.
Mark, you want me to give what I
There he
didn't
is.
like?
Yeah, give what you didn't like.
I had to
Oof.
refill the mini fridge.
37 minutes long. It was a short episode. Which
It was short?
That was short. It should have been as long as the second one.
Who did we lose? Oh, JJ.
And I'm getting tired of Boba Fett getting disrespected from everybody. I can't wait till he whips everybody's ass when the time does come.
Amen.
That's fine.
Let's let it happen.
Yeah,
We can hope it happens, but
keep my
I'm not
fingers
giving us
crossed.
much hope.
Let the dog off the chain already.
Exactly. Look, you know what's funny? I guarantee he has one episode where he whips ass and it's a cool episode. Everybody's going to forget about these. They'll talk
And his
about
back's going to go out.
Yeah,
hey, Pete, we're going to do fantasy for a second. Oh, go ahead.
I hope. Oh, that's what we're doing. I didn't know. Like Mark or so that's what we're doing next.
Yeah.
All right,
we're
we
waiting
can
on
do
you
the
to get
update.
back.
Yeah, me and you can do the update. We got that. All right, so there we go. I'll bring it up and I'll let you do our scoring updates.
So this episode was pretty easy to score, actually. I only had to watch it twice, thank God.
This comes into play today.
This does come into play today. So yeah, we'll go over it when it happens. But
yeah.
So number 5 is Lords of Mandalore, who has 2 total points, 0 for the episode.
This week.
Neither who did you have, Dom? You had Din and I forget
Din,
who
Cobb,
and Mando.
Yeah. So you got 0, which I think is kind of where Dom wanted to be, actually, to be honest with you.
He wanted his turn.
Yeah, he wanted his turn. Number 4 is JJ, who called it 100%. He said that Boba wouldn't kill anybody when he had him, and he was right. But he did get 1 point for an appearance, and then he had my notes. He had Biker Girl or Mod Girl. Now we're calling her, who made an appearance. So he had 2 points to bring his total to 3.
Get ready for the complaints.
So at 3rd place with 7 points, who was tied for the high scorer this week, is Force Ghosting. They had Finnick with 1 point for a show up, and Gamorreans escaped death, and so we got a point for the Gamorreans. So total 7 for the season.
We could have almost gotten a presumed dead if
almost, yeah,
almost if like it would have laid on the ground or something before put him in the back to tank.
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
So
2nd place also with 7 total points for the season, but only 1 point for the episode. 1 point for Black K. No points for Garza. She wasn't in this one, which brings his total to 7. So Marco and Pete are tied really at 7, but Pete gets the tiebreaker based on the first tiebreaker of having high point at 1 episode of high point.
It's rigged.
Marco was tied with Pete for episode.
Week 1, we had the high point for that week, so
Yeah.
we got the tiebreaker.
It's rigged.
It's not rigged. I don't want to hear it because I can't believe we had Black K and he didn't kill anyone. He showed up in 2 episodes and killed no one, not even a guard. Well, I was so excited. He thought he killed a Gamoran guard, and then
Hey, remember how we passed on him last week because we said I think he's going to be gone, and then okay.
Hey, it could have been
then
worse.
barely hanging
I would
on.
have gotten the little Tuscan kid. I would have gotten presumed dead.
Barely hanging on to 1st place with 1 point. He had a Major Domo appearance. He had a Tuscan Warrior point, which he then lost, as she is, at this point at least, presumed dead. So that was a -1. So he just had the 1 really. Those canceled out each other. So he just had really the 1 Major Domo appearance, which gives him a total of 8. So still barely hanging on to the number 1 position.
But you're still there. There's the scores right now. We're all 5 rankings. And Slave
Are we
one
the
point.
only team? Are we the only team that hasn't had who hasn't had Boba yet?
You and Dom, but Dom's probably about to get
Dom's
him.
gonna get it. Oh, look at us coming back. Hey, I really want to thank Steve Horn one more time for coming on. That was really great of him. I know he had to leave. I also want to say this. For our, we've been getting a lot of feedback from our European friends that can't catch us live and do it in replay. So for you, there's going to be an exclusive giveaway. We just haven't gotten it done yet, but do know our friends overseas in Europe, Australia, where else? Wherever it is overseas, we will have something special for you because I know you guys haven't even complained, but we know that it sucks when you can't win stuff because you're not here for the live chat, and we appreciate all the messages and all the support. So thank you very much. All right, we're going to go
to the
around
waivers.
What's that?
We're not done
We
with
still gotta
fantasy.
do
We
our
got to
waiver
go through the
wire.
I
waiver
know.
wires.
I was about to go into waivers. Yep.
Oh, boy.
So we're going to go into the waivers. Here we go. And who is first in the waivers? Is it Dom?
Well,
Dom has
first
to
we
drop
gotta take
somebody.
Boba. We got to take Boba out.
Oh yeah.
Let me get it. I got to get this in front of me. Who's got Boba? Up. Rule of 2. In 4th place has to drop him. So,
Yes, Eric. Yeah, Eric, that's how it works. It's a net 0, right? If you have a guy show up and then they die, it's a net 0, correct?
yes, I show up and then die. Yes, as a net 0.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like Gamorrean guard or something like that, where you get 1 point and then 3 of them die, then it's a -2. That's what's the risk of having those guys.
Yeah, so risk of taking a group.
Yeah. Okay. Rule
All
2.
right, so on the waiver wire, last place, Lords of Mandalore.
Okay. I talked to Ruben. We already talked to each other. We're going to actually take away Cobb Vanth. And we're going to take Boba.
Hey, thanks, Shane. Appreciate it.
All right. 1 move down. Rule of 2. Hey. Thank you, Shane, from watching.
Okay. So, seeing how it's been established that they have feelings in all that such, can I pick the Rancor?
Nope.
Come on.
Nope. Nice try.
Moochie Jr.
I mean, they do have feelings. Moochie, yeah, Moochie, little Moochie. I don't know. There's no good picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even want a second person on your
I tell you
team.
what. So, so can you pick a race, or is that too broad?
Like a group?
Because I don't know who these guys are yet.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
I'm not going to know until you tell me, really.
Yeah.
I was thinking Transdoshans,
Oh.
but I don't know who they are.
As long as it's not Bosk, you can
But
pick
the-
the group. Yeah. Well,
No,
they
it's
said
not
that
Bosk.
Transocean's people that are in
It's
the
the-
street.
Yeah,
So you're
the
basically
four
picking the Trandoshan
Crime.
mafia.
mafioso
bounty
Transdoshans. Yeah.
Yep.
The
Mine
guys
is-
you see at the table.
Because we're bound to get the table scene. Well, I don't have a slide for them, but I will give you the unknown for the Trandoshans. We'll have a slide for them next week.
But just know also, you're
Both.
not going to get a point for every Trandoshan that shows up. It's going to be just
Right.
like Gamorreans. You'll get 8
Just for
points.
them. But I do get a point if they kill somebody, right?
Yes.
Yes.
as a group.
And you get a minus point for every one of them that die.
Okay.
Not a bad pick, though.
Okay.
I didn't think of it.
Oh, by the way, too, we are going to have a merch drop later on in a couple weeks. We will reveal the merch next week. It should be pretty cool. We are going to have a merch drop because a lot of our stuff we just want to wait. We're trying to figure out the timing for the merch drop because, as some of you know, you have a very limited time before it gets pulled down. Not saying that we're doing anything wrong, just, so.
No, we also missed a sale. I wanted it to be offered to people when they
We're
can
going to
get
do a sale too, yeah. But we're going to reveal next week and then try to figure out when the sale day will come up when we're going to release it so everybody can go buy some. All right. Is it us?
It's you.
Yep.
You're
Why would we do anything? Should we do anything, Eric? I don't think we should do anything. I think we should stay pat. I think we're good. It will not be Marco 316 T. We might do that. Maybe we will. We actually have 2 T's already done. We're not going to reveal them till next week. So
we're gonna hold it. I have them, so we're not gonna reveal them. We'll hold
no, I think maybe the next time when we have a peak of like 52 people, we should do it then instead of now. But
them. All right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine. I can close one of my
Excellent. So there we go. They're really cool, by the way, too.
They
So,
are.
Eric, you get about 30 seconds. I think we're good. I don't think we're going to do anything.
Yeah, we're good. Nope, we're not gonna do that. All right, cool, we're good.
I'm curious. What do you want to do?
I can't tell you.
You can tell me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do regardless. Justin and I already spoke, and Justin may, may not be able to hop on to give me too much input. But
well, we might swing around and still do it if we get the second round through. So.
Okay, I'll just swing around. But with his skipping off into the sunset while he may come back, it's probably not going to be the next episode. So we got to get rid of Black K for now. Maybe somebody else grabs him, and oh well. We lose them, and we will instead replace him. Oh, we should have done this with our picks. I'm sorry, I forgot. I had all these things made up. But we're going to replace Black K with the. We're going to take the Red Ranger because we think he's kind of the number 2.
Yeah, they do. So, they get killed eventually. He gets eaten by the Rancor.
Maybe, but I don't think he'll die just yet. So for at least a week, he has a nice little spot on our squad. Right there.
Who's that?
You don't want Scud or whatever that Marco picked?
That's who we're going to pick, actually. We're going to pick Red Ranger. And we decided to pass
Well, if you would have taken Red Ranger, I would have taken whoever your scraps were.
Yeah. No, hey, so, no, this guy asked, somebody asked, here we go. Does the weekend who works for the mayor, the guy who looks like butts and jeans, does he, yeah, the Ranker's going to eat him. When Boba comes grading down. Yeah, Major Domo.
All right. Well, it is Jedi's turn now.
Go Jedi.
On the draft, on the update or whatever.
Well, I don't really know what to do. I mean, I asked Wookiee Fanatic Sam. We talked a little bit, but didn't really come up with any game plan for this week. I don't think that the Tusken Warrior is dead. So I'm very hesitant to drop her. In fact, so hesitant that I'm not going to drop her. I'm going to stay pat. I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'm not dropping anybody.
Oh, Major Domo stays. That is unforeseen.
Right. I'm surprised by that. I had to take the move.
I do have a procedural question.
Actually, wait. Oh, can I go back?
Well, we didn't move on, so you're commissioned.
Okay.
I would say you can.
Why not?
Dom was not yet on the clock, so you can make your move before he goes again.
All right. You know what? I am gonna, because he's only been getting me 1 point per anyway, so I am gonna drop Major Domo, and I'm going to pick up Danny Trey. I have to say I'm mess up his name up now. I'm going to pick up Danny, the Rancor trainer.
Okay.
I did not make a Rancor trainer.
Put
Danny
I will give you an unknown.
Trainho, yeah.
I will duplicate the unknown. I will make one for next week, so he'll be on your squad.
All right. So does it go back to Dom now?
I picked for you. I had a move.
We still have trivia coming, guys. Is Dom up?
Dom is now up.
Dom is back up.
Let me see.
He doesn't have to, but he's
most likely I'm going to pass and go on to the next thing, but I just want to make sure really quick.
That is not the move I had for you, Jedi.
I don't think she's dead. Now we may not see her next segment. It's
the same thing.
Yeah, it is hardcore.
We're going to see Black K again too. I just think I'm not going to hold on to him for a couple of weeks, hoping to see him like in episode 7. I'll take my chances and try to.
If we don't see her next episode, I'll have to reconsider. But for now,
yeah, that's your best shot. For her, that's a different situation. You're hoping for that.
Okay, we pass.
We pass. It's a pass from the Lords of Mandalore, now stocked with double Mandos on their roster. JJ, do you want to kill Fight Girl? Yeah. Do you want to kill Fight Girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta have.
Yeah, she'll be on their song.
All right. I've overridden a lot of decisions on this team, and I just can't do it again, I guess, because I keep saying. I keep telling Eric, sure, give me your input, and then I override it. So we're going to make a move.
Oh, boy. Did not see this coming. I thought you were
This is a 50-50 split. I do not agree with doing it this week, but I could be wrong. We are going to drop the Gamorrean guards, and we are going to pick up Black K.
For this week, huh? All right. We could have done that trade had you told me.
That wasn't originally what we were gonna do. He wanted to originally pick up Biker Kid.
Throw in a draft pick or two.
Oh man, you threw me for a loop with that one. So you dropped Gamorrean Guards for Black K. Shit, I just picked up Red Ranger. Garza Whip, she's still going to show up. She's not going to die yet. I got at least
this is actually really smart. I see what he just did. Oh, I see what he did. Oh, very bright move. Very, very bright move.
Well, you talk yourself into it all you want. Well, I'm going to take your Gamorrean Guards and just dump the Red Ranger for this week because as much as I wanted the Red Ranger, because he'll show up, I think the Guards might get a chance to kill somebody at that big mafioso meeting.
Wow, look at the rotation. Look at the rotation.
So we're going to take a shot, and we're going to take the Gamorrean Guards, and we're going to stick with Garza Whip because I think she has still a story to be told, and I'm still holding out for that kiss bonus.
Okay, well, when he shows up,
we'll
take it.
We're good. We're done for this week. Back here again if anybody has anything, but hopefully not.
Anyone else?
I did have a procedural question on
I got to ask again, Eric, are we making any moves? I'm willing to
well, you asked that question because now I mean we'll still go in order if we need to. But if we're good, we'll just move on. But if anybody's thinking
What's
about
your question, JJ?
We still can. But
off-screen kills. No. But if it comes up, I know you can't count them right away. But if it comes up later and we figured out, that was really the person that killed him, is that retroactive?
Well, that's a great question. Actually, it's one of those things that you don't consider until it hits you. It's in front of you.
We'll think about it.
I'm going to say no.
I think you have to.
We can talk about it. I'm going to say no because they weren't on your team when the kill happened.
I'm saying if they are though, like if I had the biker gang last week, I know I didn't.
Oh, if you had him
if I did,
yes, I agree.
I don't think anybody had any. I don't think anyone had any of the two main suspects last week. So we'll cross that bridge, I guess, if we get to it.
Yeah.
But.
I'm going to stay pan.
Yeah, but I would lean towards if you had them on your team at the time of the score readjustment, you should get those points.
What do we look like on Twitch? What do we look like on Twitch?
I don't know.
Cena? Well, she's there on Twitch, so I'm wondering what we look like. Is it good?
I have no idea. I haven't really been on Twitch.
I assume I look dark and ugly.
I know we were on Twitch.
I mean, I know. I mean, yeah. With us being no worse than we normally look. I mean, is it coming through clear and everything? It's something new we're trying.
I've never checked it. I'm
glad that somebody's there watching, and I hope it's good.
Okay.
I think we're gonna sit on this. I think we're okay.
Yeah, I gotta sit too.
We'll sit strong. We'll see what happens. We'll call it for next week. Okay, let's play a little bit of trivia. We have a new version of trivia coming up. Am I missing something else besides that? I don't think I am.
Oh, well, no, because we didn't do it last week because we forgot. Does anybody want to wager a death bet? That's the only other thing we got.
Okay. Oh, death bet.
Ooh. Can we see the screen again?
What happens if you get wrong? What happens if the wager's wrong?
Everybody.
Nobody's dying in this show.
It has to be on somebody that somebody has, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it has to be on
it has to be on somebody on a death against somebody that's on a character that's on a roster. If you miss it, I think you're minus. I keep meaning to look this up, and I never do. It's either minus 10 or minus 15. I think maybe it's minus 10.
Okay.
Spicy meatball. That's like negative points. Major negative points.
All right, I'm passing. Passing. I think.
Not for this week. I can't.
I'm tempted, but
I'm tempted too. I'm
not desperate enough yet.
Well, you just have to remember too, and this is actually in the original rules. I'm not making this up now. You cannot wager a death bet against a general character like Gamorrean Guards, Stormtroopers, Trandoshans, etc.
Oh, see, I was going to go for the Trandoshans.
So, you do know they just healed the Gamorrean Guards.
Into the rules. I didn't just.
They're going to die this episode because they heal them to kill them off. Okay.
Not yet.
Oh, cool. It looks like same, so you can see the chat and everything. That's perfect. All right, let's get into trivia, please.
Can I retroactively bet that the Tusken Warrior's dead?
Let's go. Trivia. Let's go. She's telling us. Let's go. Trivia.
Hold on. I'm doing one thing at a time here.
So hey, I'll explain the trivia rules a little bit while he's pulling up this slide. So for everyone that was loving JJ's I'm picking on JJ a little bit. So everyone that was loving JJ's everyone goes home with a trophy type of everyone gets a trophy trivia game. Not so much the case this
That was not
time.
sustainable.
Well, maybe it could be. You do have to get a trivia question right, and you can use any resource you want. Given we're not going to wait 20 minutes or so, or even a couple of minutes. You can use the chat. You can use the panel. You can whoever you want to believe. The answer has to come from you in the chat. Whoever has chosen to do this. So I don't care who you use. You can use your, I don't care. If you're fast on the Google it. I don't care. But yeah. So first things first, we need to pick somebody to play. Who wants to play?
Of us or from the
Is
chat?
it one of us or
us
is it
From the
the
chat.
chat?
Sorry, from the chat. From the chat.
Okay, wait,
Yes,
we gotta
from
get
the
chat. Okay, chat 2. Everybody put 2 in. If you want to play, how interactive is this? Do they get to choose somebody from the panel to help them, or they got to answer the questions in chat?
They can if they don't know the answer off the top of their head, they can say because
We
you know
should
the
take a
chat's
long
going to
time.
throw their
Chat's always like 2 minutes
recommendations
behind.
up in the chat
Well,
anyway.
go off the top of their
You
head. It's
choose-
going to be 2 minutes away.
Oh,
Give it a try.
well,
Give it a try.
you can use the chat. You can ask the panel. I don't care how you come
Okay.
up with the answer.
2. Everybody put 2. If
Dusty
you want to
so
be the
far.
contestant,
Maybe
put
it's not
2.
that much of a lag.
Put 2s in the chat. If you want to be a contestant, put 2s in the chat. We'll give you a couple minutes to put 2s in the chat. I think they're going to kill off
You
both
got
mornings.
6. I'm going to count Dusty's. I'll play.
Dustin's
Sam,
off play well.
Eric,
Woot, let's go, peeps.
Astro,
See.
Obi. All right.
Is 2 Dusty Bakers in. Yeah, Baker, we already got you. We'll count your second one, not your first one.
While they're putting their 2s into the chat, and
Staff
catching up.
Ben's in. Yeah.
So Jedi, how is this going to work with the questions? There's 6 questions.
So
here.
whoever
Are
is
we only doing
chosen
one?
is going to choose a number that is on
Okay.
the screen right now. That number is going to correspond to a question on the
my
next
next
slide.
slide. Yes. Okay.
And they will choose. They will make their answer
Hey,
selection.
Straw Hat Man.
And that answer will either be correct or false, as indicated on the next slide after.
Okay.
All right. We're going to do it the same way we did the earlier giveaway. I'm going to roll up and down. We're going to start at Stick Boys. We're not going to count the first Dusty Baker. We're going to count the second Dusty Baker. Then we're going to go all the way down. I'm going to do it for 10 seconds. Then I'm going to tell somebody to tell me when to stop. So just so I can get a feel for doing it.
I'm pulling
all the way
for
down.
Shane and Chewbacca.
All the way down. What?
I said I'm pulling for Shane with the Chewbacca answer, even though
Who
You know,
won?
yeah.
Wait, no, time out. Who won earlier today? You can't win this.
Oh,
if you
Sam.
win earlier. Sam
Sam.
can't win earlier today. You're Sam. You can't win again. Can't win 2 times in one day. All right. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
somebody else call it. This apart from me.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Somebody tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Venoms. Venoms is in it. The 4 deadly venoms.
Okay, so Venom. Choose a number 1 to 6. This is we're only looking at Venom's response here. 1 to 6.
Venoms. 1 to 6.
Yep. Sam, you're out. Also, Sam, hit me up on IG with your address and stuff, so I can ship your prize to you.
Is this your sister, Pete?
No,
I think it's
I don't
a
have a
dude.
sister.
All right.
I've got a brother.
Venom chooses
And he's
4,
not
so
that
he will
good.
be answering question
4.
4 on the next
Let's see.
slide.
Number 4 is.
Number 4. So we're going to 4. So you want me to go to the next slide so you can
Next
look at the
slide.
question. All right.
Okay, so your question, Venom. Again, you can use whatever resource you want.
I'll zoom in here on the question.
On which
There we go.
planet, forgive my typo, on which
I didn't
planet
see
did young
Dude.
Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon first form? Man, my type is terrible. Form
Sorry, I
a
didn't read all
connection. On which planet did young Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon first form a connection?
Okay, so could they ask people too, or you can do whatever they want?
I don't care.
I-
The answer
I
has to
believe
come
it was-
from Venom. That's the only thing.
I believe it
Oh,
was
is it
mom's
Venom?
mom's house.
What was that? Hey, we all
So
got
guys
jokes,
in the
huh?
chat, you guys on the panel can tell Venom what you think it is. Chat, shoot it up. Tell him what you think it is.
Oof.
Dusty's already saying he thinks
Is
it's
it B or
Tatooine.
D? What is it? B or D?
You mean like? I guess I don't fully understand. You're talking like connection of like the Force, or
I didn't make up these questions, so it is, other than my typos, exactly what came off the.
Oh, okay. I would say probably
their
Tatooine.
connection, their bond, I guess.
It's B or D. C. Bandomir? Was it Bandomir? No way.
That's what late night says.
Bandoneer. All right, C it is. Good. What are you saying? Venom C.
All right,
Venom said
so
C.
Did Venom
says
say C?
Let's go to the next slide.
Hold on. I want to put
Hold on.
Venom's answer up.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even understand the question of what we're asking here.
So the
Yeah, I don't know.
answer is
Bandomir.
Answer
Okay.
C.
C. Awesome.
C.
There you go. You won.
Deadly
He
Venom.
won. So let me I gotta switch cameras real quick. Let me
All right. Oh,
You
there's
were
a
correct.
two-part. This is two-part. It's getting better. Let's go. What do we got?
I think I can go to the next slide, right, Jedi?
No, he needs another camera, he said.
He does, but I can still
Okay,
give him.
so here's
the
what-
set.
Here is what Venom won.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Let's make a deal.
He won a PSA 8.
Oh, wow. Loba!
1980,
Yes!
What?
a PSA 8 1980 Star
This
Wars
is amazing.
Calrissian's main man, Empire Strikes Back. PSA 8. Venom, that is yours right now. If you want to stop, I will have it in the mail by the end of the week.
Stop.
Or,
No.
or, my friend, you can pick one of these other envelopes.
What? Hold on. Okay.
You
Get rid of
always
the
switch.
now we deal
Oh.
part. Get rid of the now we deal part. How do we get rid of the now we deal part?
Oh, you want me to get rid of the now we deal?
Yeah.
part?
Yeah, I think you can go to the next slide.
I did.
want
I
to see
went to
this.
now we deal.
All right. Do
Oh,
it. Oh,
you wanna
there's
go
a
to the next.
switch.
Well, they can't see it now.
Lobot. There's some Lobot.
You always
It's only one, you only have
switch.
to get one answer. So, okay.
See.
All right. I see how this is going.
Now
This is
this
kind of
answer
cool.
can only come from Venom. The ball is only in Venom's hands.
Do you want the
wanna
Lobot?
keep the PSA 8, or do you want
Wow.
to pick an envelope?
They're telling them to take it. Half the people are gambling.
Oh no,
Half the people are gambling.
What's this called? It's called the Monty Hall
Gotta
problem.
gamble.
This is the
No,
Monty
he's
Hall
got
problem. You always
money.
switch.
Gamble.
Venom's
Ah,
taking the
good.
Lobot.
Good decision.
Yeah.
Good decision. All right, we're gonna be able to see what else is in the packet. Is 1, 2, and
Nope,
3 or
you
no?
can't see it. Nope.
No, I mean like
Oh.
after he wants the Lobo or Lobot, but
Yeah, no, those will be
He
ready
wants
for
the
next
robot.
week.
Yeah, so he's not
thank you very
revealing.
much.
The envelopes will be there for next game next week.
All right, no gamble. We'll
Congratulations, you
see
get a
what's in the
PSA
envelopes
Lobot.
next week.
Maybe.
Maybe. All
It
right.
could be
Well, I
different.
love that
It all
part.
depends on the choice. It all depends
So
on
we're
what
gonna
they
give
wanna do. Do
simply
they wanna
easy
make a deal
questions,
or
and then
not?
we're gonna see if we're gonna gamble. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like I said in the
We got half
intro,
first game good decisions.
the answering the trivia questions, the easy part.
Yeah.
Then what do you do with it? That's
I would have
the
kept.
part that's
I would.
fun.
I would have kept the Lobot. I would have kept the Lobot too. I
To
thought
be
was
fair,
cool.
that's a fun idea. I do like.
Yeah.
this idea.
Congratulations. Good decision. You're getting some good decisions. Even though a lot of people were saying gamble later
Hey,
on.
I
saying,
want to see people
Hey
gamble.
Venom, you can either shoot me your address or shoot it to Pete, and he'll give it to me, whatever's easier.
Yeah, and I'll
on
pass it
IG.
along. So if it's easier for you to
Yeah.
reach out to me, you can.
yeah.
Venom.
Cool. Do what you will. All right. It is. Oh, we're under. Pete told us we could not go 3 hours, and that's why we didn't do
I didn't
pickups.
say that. That was
Well, you said
everybody
you don't
else.
want to go 3 hours because then all of a sudden it's late. But
Pete
Dom
as well.
hasn't shown us pickups. So Dom, we know you've been chopping at the bit, and since you're such a good sport, why don't you show us what you picked up this week, Dom?
Sure, why don't
Everybody,
I show
man.
you? Here we go. I got some new Funkos.
More pops.
Here we go. Boba Fett.
Old
Walmart
Man
exclusive, but the
Old
overseas
Man
sticker.
Fett and Holiday Fett.
No,
I
and
got-
the Mandalorian.
all I ever see
Golden
is-
Duck.
Pops and Fett.
Ah.
I got no clue what's going on. All right.
Got that. Here we go. This is pretty quick. I had to get that. That just came out.
Yeah, the little golden book.
That was a Mythosaur, really?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it's a Mythosaur. It's another creature.
No,
but
that's it.
I
That's
thought it was
the
another
Mythosaur.
creature.
No, I think it's the Mythosaur. He wrote it.
the Mexican Darth Vader one. Got
Interesting.
that.
First Black K.
Yep. The French issue 42 with Boba Fett.
Don't
First
steal.
appearance.
Don't steal it from
Oh.
a water
Oui, oui.
guy that likes staplers.
And then last but not least, the Italian.
Oh,
Super special.
Ooh.
that looks like a thicker cover. That looks like
Yeah,
a,
how
It
thick
does
is
look
that?
thicker. It's a
It
book.
does look thick.
oh
Like a
man,
You got that in the
hardcover.
back?
interesting.
For the golden, okay, we will give you one. I don't think Dom read the novel, so he can give a review on the. We'll have him do a review on the golden key book on the end.
Golden.
Do you see that, Dom? Is that okay?
Well, Don need a review of the book to see if I should buy it.
No,
The,
no,
the
review
newest
on
book,
your
right?
golden book that you
On your
have.
golden book,
Oh.
the little golden one.
Oh, this one.
The
Okay.
golden book.
Yeah,
No, for
it
next
ain't
week. You
good.
have to do it now.
He wants
No,
to know
no,
if you think
I'll do it.
All right, cool. Sounds good. All right, so this week coming up, we will try to get out a review. Jedi, how close are you for finishing the novel?
I got about 2 hours left, so I think I'm on like chapter 24. or
What
something.
speed are you guys listening to this at?
I'm at a
1.5.
1.25, but I still have like
No,
9
Turn it
hours.
up to 2.1. 2.1 at all times.
2.1.
Oh my gosh, that's
I don't
so
want to hear
fast.
Alvin read me the book.
I don't want to.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to hear the chipmunks. No.
It's not. This guy takes pauses and breaks too long. Number 2, so then JJ should be done too because I think he's got an hour left. Sam, are we going to see you next week again? We do appreciate your insight.
Dude, I love crapping on Boba Fett. This has been a lot of fun. Yeah, I'll
It
be
could
back.
be good this week, though.
Yeah, hey, fingers crossed Dom is right. Fingers crossed Dom is right.
Dom's got to be right. He's got to be right that the next week's going to be better because it can't be as bad as this. Because if it is, we might end our review of the Book of Fett. If it's as
Go
bad
back
as it
to
was
doing
this week,
Clone Wars episodes.
yeah, we're going to start reviewing Clone Wars episodes.
I'll
We'll
tell
probably
you what,
review the Boba Fett arc in Clone Wars
I'll
episode.
make a wager here. If the episode is worse than last week's episode, I will shut up about Boba Fett the remaining time.
No, don't do that.
No, come on. No, that's too much.
This is what I love. These slappies won't say anything about John, but they definitely bring up KK for some reason, who had nothing to do with writing this episode. You put this L on John. John gets this L. Okay.
He's not alone.
I like the game. We'll tailor it a little bit, but I do like it. Are we gonna have one next week? We're gonna have another trivia next week.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Pete is out. JJ, are you there? Oh,
I'm
Pete's
out.
back.
I'm here.
Cool.
Wait,
Anybody
I was
else
out.
have anything to add? Would you like to add anything?
No.
God, we got a lot of stuff to give away. Nobody
We
like to
do
add
got a
anything.
lot of stuff. We'll save Ruben again for next week. We'll save the T-shirt.
Oh
for
shoot,
next
we have the no. How long's the Ruben thing? No.
It's like 6 minutes.
Everybody got
That's
6
at the end of the
minutes.
show. I don't want to throw it in at the end. I want
You're right.
people
We
to
should put it in there.
It
We
is
should put
pretty
it in there.
cool.
It is really cool. It is really cool. Can we
Like,
start off the
it's
first
a
minute,
show.
30
It-
seconds to
it's
see
pretty
what
cool.
it is? Can we start
What's
off the 30 seconds? Can we start off the first 30 seconds to see
I
what it's about?
can. I guess I can give you
Give a preview. Give a preview.
All right, I'll give you a teacher. Give me a second here. All right, I'll say share video file.
All right, where's the dad joke? Hopefully the next episode is.
I'll give you the first.
Oh, better. Hopefully the next episode is better than the last.
I want some cheese.
Oh no, jeez, oh Pete.
I'll give you
All
guys
right.
the first two. Why is it not there?
There it is. That's what was happening to me with the playing of the videos.
Wait, hold on.
All right.
Why- Oh, there it is.
God, he's got such a great collection.
He does.
It does.
Hey guys, it's Ruben. Now, after a long conversation with Pete, we decided we're going to make this a monthly series. A monthly series focusing on one of the items that I gave him on the list. And he chose one. And it just so happened to be Prince.
You chose the
Limited
wrong one.
edition Prince.
No,
So I'm going to take a few minutes, go through what I have here, and hopefully you guys
I don't buy
enjoy
them.
it.
So I like seeing everybody else's.
So welcome to the Dark Side Cave.
All right, you could cut it off right there. Okay, so he's gonna go.
No,
through
no,
it.
I'm gonna give it one. I want to give one.
Can I give one?
No, you gotta leave it as a teaser.
Oh, we didn't. Stop it. We didn't.
All
All right.
right,
Nope. We're gonna leave it as a teaser.
we'll leave it as a teaser. I was gonna give one print.
I know. They're really cool though. So
They
we will
are.
do
That's
that
why
next week. We'll add it in because I don't think we'll have as long as a Fett thing, and we'll try to bring back some toys or other segments that we did. It just was a very long one.
Yeah, we won't have
Okay.
the market thing. The market thing we're gonna wait a month out. So we got.
Oh yeah, now we have a month. Cool.
Market thing back.
It is a good intro. Cool. Oh, did you get the JTC? Who got the JTC? We posted that on the IG, I think. So I hope people.
I got the boba, the regular, the first and second print. I did not get the holiday, either holiday.
The holidays sold out quick.
Mm.
I got
JJ, do you not want to say? JJ, don't tell us what we got. You will look it up. We'll have it when it comes in to see what he got. Okay. All right. That's all we got. That's it. Thank you to the 40 that are still around. We will talk to you next week. We do have a live show on Wednesday, but make sure you're on Renovation and check out what's going on.
Yeah, we'll probably do the mostly spoiler-free recap.
I don't know what we're going to do this week, to be honest with you.
I was going to ask you what we're going to do because I'm ready. I got other content ready to go for Monday and Tuesday, but I got to start getting ready for Wednesday.
We do have to get ready. I think are we doing X-Men on Wednesday?
We could if you want to start that, or unless you want to switch into something one-off again.
Like wrestling, that Venom obviously says.
We can do wrestling.
All right, we're gonna do wrestling. All right, I'll talk to you all
I got
later.
that box of cards too. I can box break that box of cards if you want.
What is it? The wrestling box of cards?
Yeah, it's wrestling card. I don't know. My dad gave it to me.
We're gonna do wrestling and box breaker wrestling cards on Wednesday. Great. Thank you for all the great shows. We do appreciate the support. Once again, I want to thank Astro for the $9.99 super chat that he gave us. I will be taking my blood pressure medicine. I take it before I get on the show every time. Thank you once again, and thank you for all the DMs. We do really appreciate you guys sending us out messages and everything else. Have a great week. I hope Boba Fett gets better. Pete?
It will. We'll see you guys next week.